And now, iHeartRadio presents the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida.
If you want to crown them, then crown them. They are who we thought they were.
Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. Mike Bianchi making a grand entrance later on in the show, but for now it is me, Brandon Kravitz, along with the prodigy of production, Jaden Grimes. We are live across the Sunshine State, Orlando, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and on YouTube as well. We are streaming live there. 96.9 The Game, no spaces when you type that into the search bar, or at 96.9 Game on Twitter. So many different ways to find us. Go ahead and load us up. We're ready to go. 50857 is how you can text us. Also, I want to hear from you in the Rage Cage. Hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. Coming up today, Mia O'Brien, Jags insider, talks about the 2-1 start for the Jags and what in the world is this team doing with Travis Hunter. I can make no sense of this. Perhaps she can help us figure that out. Plus, a peculiar situation with USF in regards to Jim Leavitt and his Hall of Fame induction, which apparently he's not invited to. Plus, Mike Giannetti from SpotTrack.com joins the show in the middle of the 4 o'clock hour, and we invite you again to join the Rage Cage. Hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. First to do so today, Jaden, the first person to Rage Cage us gets UCF Kansas tickets, because I didn't give away yesterday's pair. Do you hear that bassy voice, yeah. By the way?
I wish I can keep this voice forever. Almost. God.
I think you gain like 7 levels of credibility with the way your voice sounds.
I just want to lose my voice forever at this point. Just keep it like this.
That sounds great. Can you, as a producer, explain to the audience how different your life is in terms of the pre-show process from a Monday to a Tuesday?
Mondays are like everything's on fire. I'm running around like crazy trying to get all the clips from the weekend, because I know no one knows this, but my sound wall of clips is full to the max. Yesterday, every sound I played, there was 4 different devices of sound that I used. I used Twitter, I use Adobe, I use my sound wall, I use Audacity, I used everything.
Well, he's perhaps we can have some of the listeners that are interested in getting into production sign up for some sort of a training or tutorial from the prodigy one day, because he's got it all figured out with all of his different tabs up there. But Monday, definitely more of a headache than it is today. Either way, though, we have games to talk about. We have breaking news in the sports world. Let's get to the highlights and headlines. Despite a damn near perfect game from Lamar Jackson in terms of his overall passer rating, which was in the 140s, he was 21 of 27, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Ravens put up 30 points last night. Wasn't enough, as the Lions ran it right down their throats.
He's got a hole. Henry to the 20. The King to the 15. 10, 5. Touchdown, Ravens. He gone. They needed 1. They got 6.
2nd and goal from the 1. Goff out of the gun. Hands it to Montgomery. Tries the left side. Did not get in. It's going to be 3rd and goal from inside the 1.
There it is.
There, they say he did get in. Late call. There it is. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Better late than never.
Lamar Jackson from the shotgun. Throws towards the end zone, looking for Andrews. He's got a touchdown, Mark Andrews. A diving grab along the sideline. And the Ravens have their first lead of the night.
Goff up under center, turns, gives, Amon-Ra flips it out to Gibbs. He's in the house, baby. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Oh, that is beautiful. Goff hands it to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra flips it to Gibbs, and the Lions have got the lead back. Goff takes, turns, gives to Montgomery. 2 hands on that football. There he goes over the right side. 25, 20, cuts to the right at the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Demo to the house, 31 yards, and the Lions have put this game on ice.
Oh, Dan Campbell with the onions. He goes for it on 4th down at midfield with a touchdown lead. Doesn't want to give the ball back to the Ravens. Good for you for making that decision. That has become the brand of Dan Campbell. And I think it was really important for him to do that. Going for it takes guts. That's one thing. And that's on brand for him. Going for it on 4th and short and then passing the ball deep down the field? Who doesn't want to play for this guy? What a play. execution perfect. Jared Goff is so underrated. Here's what Dan Campbell said after the game about needing that win.
This is the type of game that was needed for this opponent. Not everyone is going to always be the same. You'd love to say, it's always going to be that type, and you got to play this way, but all of them are different. And, some games it takes more explosives. You got to get more explosives than it does just true groundwork. The ground sets it up, and defensively you got to play a little different, but it was what was needed against this team for this opponent. And I thought the guys handled it perfectly.
Masterpiece. Mona Lisa. They did a little bit of everything. There was trickery. There were gutsy calls. There was just ground and pound. We're just going to run it down your throat, and you're going to like it. 5.9 yards per carry. Their running backs each had 2 touchdowns between Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, they showed the graphic last night on the broadcast. These guys are being compared to legendary running backs like Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung that were around before they wore face masks. That's how old school and rugged the Lions are. Yet at the same time, they've got this new age creative offense that a lot of people thought was all Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator who is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. This is just them. They are so much fun to watch. I know you checked into the game about a quarter in, but that was one of the best games already in a very short period of the season. But those two, I could watch those two teams play all day.
Oh yeah, that was between Eagles-Rams. That's a little biased, but Eagles-Rams and Ravens-Lions, the best games of the season so far.
Bills-Ravens in the opener was the opening Sunday night game. Basically, if we get the Ravens involved with anybody, it's going to be a good game. Can they actually take a good game, create a good game out of a Chiefs game? Because the Chiefs have been unwatchable for the last 2 years. They play each other on Sunday. But Derrick Henry was part of the problem. This is now 3 games in a row where he's got a fumble in each, 2 of them costing the Ravens a chance at wins. Remember, the Ravens with that loss are sitting at 1-2 now. Derrick, what do you have to say for yourself?
Crazy right now. 3 games straight that happened to in my career. Straight fumbles in critical moments. Man, I apologize to Block Nation, and I'll just keep working and get this fixed.
Jaden, if you take away that he had a 28-yard touchdown run, he looked like a bully. He looked like he was about to have a monster game. Finished with 12 carries, 50 yards. So let's take that one run away from him. What are you left with? 22 yards rushing
like
the rest of
week.
The game.
Yeah, he's washed. He is not what he used to be.
What's crazy is that he's had a couple of plays. It's only 3 weeks of the season. He's had a couple of plays where he has looked like old school Derrick Henry, and then the rest of the game he looks washed, and he is also creating costly fumbles. I think they need to manage Derrick Henry. I don't think that you can give him a standard workload. They're going to need to find somebody else that they can lean on and then go, okay, we need a home run hit, and you put Derrick Henry in, almost like a DH in baseball. That's what this feels like. So the John Harbaugh was more upset with the defense, of course, because they gave up 38 points. Here's Harbaugh.
The biggest problem is we didn't play good run defense. I mean, we didn't, as a defense complete, we didn't do it. And that's not going to be good enough. There's nobody in that locker room that thinks that's good enough. That's disappointing. That's bad run defense. And that's not who we are. It cannot be who we are. It's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be acceptable. And it's got to be better.
224 yards on the ground. Lucky for them, they don't play the Lions next week, one of the best rushing teams in the league. They play the Chiefs. You talk about washed. You see your Derrick Henry. I raise you Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah,
and,
that backfield is not good.
They're going to have a much easier time next week. Trouble in Tampa. They cannot avoid the injury bug. They're sitting at 3-0, but that might come crashing back down to earth. They play Jaden's Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Bucs star wide receiver Mike Evans expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with a strained left hamstring. He's been dealing with hamstring issues for years. He's 32 now. It's a good thing they drafted Emeka Egbuka, and they need Chris Godwin to come back as well. And this one came down a couple of hours before the show. In fact, we had multiple breaking news stories. This was one of them. Jackson Dart is set to get the start for the New York Giants. He's going to get his first start against the undefeated LA Chargers. Good luck with that one, by the way. But he does get to start at home. Of course, he was picked 25th overall out of Ole Miss. And apparently Brian Daboll has seen all the Russell Wilson that he needs to see. That resurgence, it felt like he was back after that game against the Cowboys. That resurgence lasted all of one game.
Yeah.
That was it.
He hasn't been good since Seattle.
I think Russell Wilson is going to be, at this point, that was it. That's the last starting job that he ever gets.
Oh, for sure.
Last thing here, this was breaking news right before we came on the air. Oklahoma State fired Mike Gundy after 2 decades at the helm for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. This was announced just a little bit ago. This move ends a tenure that they were one of the Big 12 elites for a long time. He's 58 years old, second longest tenured coach in FBS. It departs after a steep decline over the past 2 seasons, including a 3-9 record in 2024. They started 1-2 this year. They lost to Tulsa. Unacceptable in the Midwest to do that. And Mike Gundy is gone. That Oklahoma State job is open, and that is going to be an interesting one to follow. Up next, my official state of Florida hierarchy. I'm going NFL and college. I'm ranking all of the teams based on how much they've impressed me to this point in the season. Game On returns right after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
DIY work at home in a hot house, not really my bag. A good AC provider is crucial to my comfort as a homeowner, and not having to worry about who I'm going to call upon if there's ever an issue is such a weight off of my back. That's why I trust Mills Air. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. Think of them as the MVP of keeping your home nice and cool. Whether it's routine maintenance, fast repairs, or downright emergency, Mills Air keeps your home cool, comfortable, and energy efficient all season long. They've been doing that for Orlando homeowners and business owners since 1992. Protect your investment and give yourself some peace of mind along the way. Call Leon and the crew. Schedule your appointment. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159, and online at millsair.com.
Central Florida, do you know how lucky we are? We are so spoiled to have International Diamond Center right here in Orlando. This is Florida's premier diamond destination. They are a direct importer. That means no middleman, just incredible prices on sparkling natural diamonds of every shape and size, handpicked from the world's elite diamond cutters. And IDC doesn't stop there. You'll find the biggest selection of bridal rings anywhere in the state, all the iconic designer names, plus thousands of exclusive handcrafted American-made settings. IDC even offers custom designs so your ring is one of a kind. And for watch lovers, IDC is your source for pre-owned luxury Rolexes, meticulously curated models like the Submariner, Sky Dweller, and Batman, all in pristine condition. Some have never even been worn. IDC is family-owned, Florida-grown, never a corporate chain. This is the Jeweler Orlando Trust. Get details now at shopidc.com.
Afternoon traffic starting to pile up in your typical areas on the major roadways. There's also a couple accidents to keep an eye out for. The left lane's blocked on John Young Parkway southbound at Colonial Drive. Emergency crews are blocking lanes where 1792 meets Altamont Drive. Move over and slow down if you see crews on the roadways. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Prime Big Deal Days. Looking for a kitchen upgrade? Prime Big Deal Days are coming. But even if that's not on your list, there will be deals on all kinds of must-haves. Up to 40% off. Shop Prime Big Deal Days on October 7th and 8th.
iHeartRadio brings you Global Citizen Festival 2025 from New York City at Central Park's Great Lawn. Live performances from Shakira, Cardi B, Tyla, Ira Star, Mariah the Scientist, Camilo, and many more. All hosted by Hugh Jackman. Join the movement changing the world at globalcitizenfestival.com. Hear the entire festival live all day this Saturday on the free iHeart app's Global Citizen Radio and on Hit Nation at 10 p.m. Eastern.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yingling Traditional Lager. Brewed by the same family for nearly 200 years, it's a crisp amber lager with a bold, smooth flavor that's perfect for game day. Whether you're cheering from the stands or watching from your favorite bar, Yingling is the taste of tradition. Yingling. Legends stand the test of time.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and don't know what to do.
You know who to call. Farah and Farah, Orlando.
QVC, shopping that surprises and delights. And QVC has partnered with iHeartRadio for this exclusive offer. It's today's special value. Simple, versatile style. The Vince Camuto water repellent leather or suede tall shaft boot with extended calf sizing will be your fall go-to. Today's special value, just $39.98 with free shipping. A QVC iHeartRadio exclusive offer. Today's special value. Shop now at QVC.com/TSV.
Is your AC working overtime? Your roof might be the reason. Upgrade now. Get 15% off and lower your energy bills. Real craftsmen, real experts, real roofers. Visit EustaceRoofing.com for a free estimate. That's EustaceRoofing.com.
Attention Pride fans, are you ready for another epic year? Single match tickets for the 2025 season are now on sale. Join us in celebrating the Orlando Pride, the defending NWSL Shield winners and NWSL champions, by watching the games live after our best season yet. Tickets are now on sale at orlando-pride.com/tickets.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Hey everybody, Daniel Jeremiah here.
And I'm Bucky Brooks.
On Move the Sticks, we take you inside the game, from breaking down college prospects and NFL rookies
to evaluating team building philosophies, coaching trends, and how front offices construct winning rosters.
We study the tape, talk to decision makers, and give you a perspective you won't find anywhere else. Listen to the Move the Sticks podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the Move the Sticks podcast and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Catch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season long on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeart Radio app, sponsored by First Horizon Bank. Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
But I think their offense has issues. And if the Giants can put up points like they did last week against Dallas, I think this could be trouble. I'm very intrigued by that.
You intrigued by Dallas? Intrigued or fatigued by Dallas at Chicago?
I'm intrigued.
Why? I can mention any game, for crying out loud.
The Bears also haven't won a game yet. The Ben Johnson.
I can mention Browns, Packers, and you go, intrigued. I'm not asking you anymore. You've got to take your football helmet head out of it, all right?
How?
Because
my head's stuck.
Because you can't be. It's sort of a game, Kravitz. There's some of them you have to be fatigued about. Okay?
It's week 3. I'm not fatigued yet.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game. The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Bianchi will roll in a few. For now, it's me, Brandon Kravitz, on AM 930 in Jacksonville, FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee, and right here, home base in Orlando, Florida, on FM 96.9 The Game, streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We got a coach quote. We'll get to that in a second. I have a hierarchy that I want to give you as well. Mia O'Brien before we get done with the 3 o'clock hour. So we're loaded up. In some breaking news, more breaking news today. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the defensive back for the Texans, has been cut.
Come home to Philly. Come home for the third time.
You got to really be a head case to get cut in week 3.
Oh, for sure.
You've got to be a real dirtbag.
Especially when Philly lets you go twice. That really says something.
Yeah, the Texans are 0-3. They're trying to spark something here. We asked you to lay it on us in the rage cage, and Brendan did exactly that. What you got?
Yeah, I've got something to rage about. You know how damn hard it is as a Gator fan to walk around Central Florida and see all these happy little UCF fans running around. Like, y'all are not supposed to be better than us, and I get we have our problems right now, but trying to keep it – I can't even talk. Keep the tickets. I'm mad. Go Gators.
Okay, that means UCF Kansas tickets still up for grabs. Brendan just wanted to let it loose. We appreciate that. Got to be tough, especially when you walked into the season as a Gator fan with your chest out a little bit, and you thought that UCF, if you're a Gator fan in Central Florida, you deal with a few UCF fans along the way. There's plenty of Gator fans, plenty of Seminole fans. It's a mixed bag around here, but UCF fans get awfully loud and cocky when they're good. And Florida fans thought that they were going to be big bro again this year. It doesn't feel like that. In fact, if those two teams played right now, I can tell you I would be on UCF.
Absolutely.
They'd probably be underdogs. I would hammer that line right now. So let's get to our daily coach quote of the day, our daily source of inspiration and motivation. Today's lesson is this. The quote I was trying to think of on the fly yesterday, Jaden, and I wasn't quite able to put it all together. I Googled it, copied it, pasted it, and it's on the notepad right now. Under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion. You sink to the level of your training. A widely cited quote, often attributed to the Navy SEALs. Good enough for the SEALs. It's good enough for me.
Yeah, that gets the boys going. They're going to run through a wall after you tell them that in the locker room.
When you see somebody that's playing really well in sports, or you have a presentation at work and you're killing it, it's not because you're rising to the occasion. It's because you're sinking to the level of your preparations. It's all about the work that you put in prior to the fact of going out there and performing. But Brendan's talkback is the perfect lead-in for what I wanted to do right here. The state of Florida hierarchy. This is like my power ranking for the state, college and pro. You don't often get the mixed bag like this. So this is who's really wowing me. Obviously, if I have the Miami Hurricanes over the Dolphins, which I do, it's not me saying I think the Hurricanes could beat the Miami Dolphins. Okay, we're not having that argument. I don't know if you're shaking your head right now.
Shaking my head. I don't know. I feel like it'd be a pretty fair game.
No, would not be. This is all relative. I have 8 options, 8 across the state, college and pro. I'm going to go 8-1, and feel free to interject if you disagree with any of the positioning that I have here. Number 8, I have the Miami Dolphins, dead last, sitting at 0-3 with no end in sight. They might even lose on Monday Night Football to the Jets. They have very few redeeming qualities, so I've got them at the bottom of the heap. Any objection?
No, that's fair.
The Dolphins. Okay. Number 7, I have the Florida Gators. At least the Gators have a defense. That's what gets them ahead of the Miami Dolphins. But the Gators offensively, they rank in the bottom 30 in terms of yards per game created. That ranks them around the following schools. So if you're a Gator fan right now, turn that dial up. You might need to take the next 5 minutes off after I read this list off to you, but just turn that dial up for a second. The Florida Gators offensively rank near Louisiana Monroe, Marshall, Akron, Rice, and Hawaii. They're all in range. Some of those teams are actually above Florida. They're just all in the same range. It is pitiful.
Yeah,
what the Gators have been.
That's bad. It brings a smile to my face. If we're being honest, but
well,
yeah,
because you're a Hurricane fan and you were part of smushing those numbers down. Number 6, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 2-1, but I'm not totally buying it. I think they're fool's gold. They beat the Panthers. The Panthers are okay, but it's not like, oh, you beat the Panthers, so now I can believe in you. They lost. Then they follow that up. Okay, you're supposed to beat the teams that you're better than. I'm not going to hold that against you. But then you lose to Jake Browning, who played the majority of the game for the Bengals. You watched Jake Browning last week? That guy is terrible.
Bad.
And then They tried to hand that game to the Houston Texans last week. Brian Thomas Jr. can't catch. Travis Hunter looks lost. So I'm not buying in. Number 5, UCF. They need a more impressive win on their resume than UNC, but this team looks legit. Just talent-wise, eye tests. I think that they have a real chance to climb this ranking throughout the season. Preseason predictions for the Big 12 mean nothing. So the fact that UCF was predicted to finish last in the conference, who cares? It looks like they're going to be better than that. Let's see how they look when they get to conference play. So I'm going to say just kind of holding them at 5. Number 4, I have USF. Since playing USF, Boise State has scored 49 and 51 points. That USF defense is legit. By the way, they held Boise State to 7. And yes, they got dog walked by your Hurricanes, but they were due for a letdown. They can't really share a field with. They did beat Florida, and I guess we'll have to see at the end of the year how impressive that actually was.
Win. I don't know if they're better than UCF, though. I know they don't play this year, but if they did play this year,
a shame.
I feel like UCF would take it. I really do.
I just think right now I'm judging based on what I've seen and resume, and I think UCF is probably better than USF, but resume-wise, USF has a win against Boise State. I think that's still an impressive win, and they dominated Boise State. And then Florida. And they went into the swamp and beat Florida. That's impressive. And then they got smacked by Miami. But and then they blew out another opponent, South Carolina State they played or whatever. So UCF just hasn't beaten anybody yet. I think UNC might be the worst team in college football. So I'm just not holding that to a high regard. Number 3, I have FSU. Obviously, if you've been listening to this show, I'm a little slow to buy in, but they do have the number 1 offense in college football, and that win against Alabama does hold some weight, but it's another team. I need to see what it looks like as you continue on. They had a lot of pent-up frustration from last year going into week 1. We'll see what happens when they start ACC play on Friday. Number 2, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3 games, 3 wins, 3 game-winning drives. I mean, they're pretty average. If you look at the advanced stats on PFF.com, they rank about 15th or 17th across the board. But what can't be measured is heart, and they rank number 1 there. And number 1 on my list is the Miami Hurricanes. I believe in this team's ability to win a national championship. Quarterback play, solid up front on both sides of the trenches, stars on the outside. If they can just overcome Mario Cristobal in a late game situation, Miami can beat anybody.
I agree with you. I really think the only way we lose to any team this year is if we shoot ourselves in the foot. And we've done it every single year. As a Miami fan, I've been disappointed every single year, no matter how good we are. I finally have full faith in this team.
You should.
And I really do think we can go all the way this year.
Number 2 in the country right now. Up next, Mia O'Brien checks in on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are 2-1 to start the year, heading on the road to San Francisco. How real is it, though? We'll find out next.
With Bianchi and Kravitz.
Football season has been hot. These college and NFL games have been absolutely tremendous. And the place to get in on all of the action is Florida's only legal sportsbook, Hard Rock Bet. Sign up today, bet $5 on any game. If it wins, you also score $150 in bonus bets. Get the party started over on Hard Rock Bet. I would also suggest that you check out their Trends and Stats Hub. There you can find the hottest streaks, the latest line moves, and more. Last night, I said it was going to be awfully proppy, and it was. Receptions, touchdowns, aplenty. Already starting to dig into next week's card. I got a couple of teasers that I really like as well. It's where you can buy points up or down on the Hard Rock app. So many options for my fellow sports bettors out there. Head to Hard Rock Bet and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT IT.
Orlando, are you ready to rock at my favorite beach getaway? Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool, grab a bite at their world-famous restaurant, or unwind at the spa. And when the sun sets, enjoy live music under the stars at their beachside band shell. For reservations, go to hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach.
Hey, Florida State University fans and alumni. Are you ready for Seminole sports this fall? We have the perfect gear for you, the FSU Specialty License Plate. Stop by your local tax collector's office and get yours today. Proceeds fund student scholarships across the university. FSU provides a $25 rebate for first-time buyers. Find out more at mytag.fsu.edu. Support your Seminoles with the FSU Specialty License Plate. Go Noles!
Football season is in full swing, and there's no better place to get in on the action than Bet Online, your number one source for all things football. Bet Online has all the latest odds, breaking news, live scores, and even in-game betting, so you'll never miss a moment. From every pro to college football matchup to baseball, cage fighting, and hockey futures, Bet Online keeps you locked into the action all year long. Head to Bet Online today, because at Bet Online, the game starts here.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
QVC, shopping that surprises and delights. And QVC has partnered with iHeartRadio for this exclusive offer. It's today's special value. Simple, versatile style. The Vince Camuto water repellent leather or suede tall shaft boot with extended calf sizing will be your fall go-to. Today's special value, just $39.98 with free shipping. A QVC iHeartRadio exclusive offer. Today's special value. Shop now at QVC.com/TSV.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer.
Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for today, it's going to be a hot day and a little on the humid side. Temperatures warming to a high of 92 degrees with about a 40% chance of some scattered afternoon showers and a few thunderstorms along the way as well. Won't be a complete and total washout, but temperatures will keep getting hotter. 93 for our high on Wednesday and then 92 for Thursday and Friday. Higher chances of rain will arrive for our Friday at a 60% chance. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Jacksonville Jaguars coming off yet another win, 2-1 now through 3 weeks in the season. Mia O'Brien joins us to break it down. You can check out her Club 904 podcast, also found on ESPN Radio. A gutty win. How much do those teams despise each other, by the way, Mia?
It's funny you should ask that, Kravitz, because I just got done doing a class with our women's basketball team here at UNF, where I am also employed. Thank you for the great intro, by the way. I feel like everyone's finally getting used to like, oh, these are Mia's jobs. Just got done with the women's basketball team. We were doing a little media training, and I said it to them. I said, you ladies and fans everywhere would have no idea, because I thought the Jaguars did an outstanding job, independent of the fact that I specifically cover them, but I thought they did a great job of hiding how much they do not like that team. I thought they did an incredible job of taking the high road, harnessing that energy, because they are still thinking about that hit that Azeez Al-Shaair laid on Trevor Lawrence back in December, but they are also thinking now about this victory, their second of the season.
And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson gets released by the Houston Texans. Was there something that you saw in that game from him that would lead to that, or do you think this is all behind the scenes stuff?
I'm assuming it's behind the scenes. What's funny is that I actually had a tweet with a GIF that I made of Chauncey at the Florida State game in 2018, where he's holding a severed Seminole head up. I had it ready I had it available and at the ready on my tweet deck, or on my Twitter, I should say, these days. And I never had to use it because his name was never really called outside of when he jawed a little bit with Trevor Lawrence at one point in time. And so I don't know if that's an indication. The fact that we didn't actually call his name all that often, that maybe his play wasn't up to snuff, but it would not surprise me, with all due respect to the Cocoa Beach native, if there was something going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it seems like that's a common occurrence for him. I'm curious to see what direction you go with this. Brian Thomas Jr. had another rough game, but then caps it off with a big catch at the end to seal it for the Jags. So you could make the case that he had a good game just based on making a big play when it mattered the most. Are you encouraged or discouraged by the game that Brian Thomas Jr. had?
Encouraged, because he kept swinging. And so much of this, and we've talked about this, on the air and in the media room and with the players themselves, like, I equate what he's going through right now, and I hope this is all it is, to a slump for a hitter in baseball. And the only way he's going to get out of it is if he keeps swinging. I do think that some of this is miscommunication with the quarterback and perhaps still learning the nuances of how Liam Cohen's offense is being run. And there will be those who hear me say that in the Orlando area and say, what the heck, it's week 4. They need to know what they're supposed to do. And I agree, but I think some of it needs to be learned trial by fire, and they need to learn by actually doing it. And I think they're working some of those kinks out right now. Liam Cohen told reporters yesterday that the run game in Tampa, and you guys can attest to this, last season really didn't truly become what it became the rest of the season until after week 4. And so that's why no one is panicking at the Miller Electric Center with regards to that relationship. And I think ultimately so much of this is an increased role in Liam Cohen's offense for number 7 comparatively to what it looked like a season ago. The idea of him running 10% more of his routes are in-breaking across the field comparatively to the offense that was being run his rookie year, and embracing that contact. And not that he can't, but it's a different role he's being asked to play because this offense recognizes that he is not only a number 1 wide receiver, he has the potential to be a top 10 wide receiver in the National Football League.
Do you think the criticism of Shane Waldron has been fair?
No. Like, Shane Waldron's job is to essentially be a big brother to Liam and to help Liam with the offensive operation behind the scenes. If Liam is like busy working on the playbook, like if Liam's in the lab drawing up plays and the game plan, then Shane Waldron will lead the meetings. I don't know where it's coming from outside of angry Bears fans, but then again, I'm still throwing shade at Press Taylor on live radio. So maybe I got to check my bias at the door.
We're talking to Mia O'Brien from the Club 904 podcast, also on ESPN radio. Got to talk about Travis Hunter. What exactly is the plan here? He's primarily on offense in the opener. I think it was pretty close to an even split week 2, more heavy on defense in week 3. Is there a clear strategy here from the Jacksonville Jaguars as far as how they want to handle him? Or do you think they're still in the discovery process?
Very much, I think, still in the discovery process, because it's not a matter of how does he fit us as much as what can he handle? And it's become clear that through 3 games, if only physically, because again, that mental piece and knowing the playbook and understanding the nuances of playing in the National Football League at both positions, that's going to come with time. But he physically can play 80+ snaps a game. He has now proven it in back-to-back weeks. And so that part of it, I think, is still being experimented, and it will continue to be crafted week in and week out. As far as his role on this team, Jarian Jones was banged up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and so they really needed a lockdown corner opposite Tyson Campbell in order to not only successfully defend against Nico Collins, but with Christian Kirk returning from injury, if either of those 2 Iowa State rookie wide receivers were to have popped off, neither did this past weekend, they needed someone opposite Tyson who they felt could match the foot speed of those wide receivers. And ultimately, with Buster Brown just coming off of injury and this being his first game of the season, they didn't want to trot out the reliable backup, and Jones being banged up, they made the decision that they wanted to see if Travis Hunter could handle the workload, and he certainly did. And he matched up with Nico Collins more than once and was able to shut him down.
I wonder how much of the criticism surrounding Travis Hunter, including myself, has to do with fantasy football, because people
it's all fantasy. It's rotting your brain. And that's someone who plays fantasy football, but that's the reality of the situation. Like, every tweet angry mention on Twitter that I've gotten, I feel like in the last 5 days, has been someone who's mad that Travis Hunter didn't deliver for their fantasy team. Like, Travis Hunter doesn't care because the Jags got a dub. It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a lesson that we can take with us into the future, that just because he's a sensational athlete doesn't mean that he's a good fantasy asset. What are you expecting this weekend against the San Francisco 49ers? This Niners team is really good. They might get Brock Purdy back here. They did just lose Nick Bosa. This is going to be an interesting matchup, and I think the toughest game for the Jags to date.
Yes, I think that what is the biggest question for me, and JP Acosta from CBS Sports brought this up on Club 904 today, I want to know, depending on who is going to actually start under center, whether it's Brock Purdy or Mac Jones, how much of a quick passing attack this will be for the 49ers on offense. Because if it's Mac Jones, I do think that's going to be the game plan for Kyle Shanahan, is get the ball out quick, much like Jake Browning has done in each of his 2 games against the Jaguars, in which, if you forgot, he's 2-0. And that was the biggest difference. We talked about it last week between the Joe Burrow offense for the Bengals week 2 and the Jake Browning offense. And for whatever the reason, that quick passing attack, whether it was Ryan Nielsen's defense, Mike Caldwell's defense, or now Anthony Campanile's defense, they can't wrap their heads around it. So I'm very fascinated to see what the Niners trot out with regards to whoever the quarterback is in the offensive operation. As far as the defense goes, look, I don't want to say it, but the Jaguar fans are kind of rooting for Bryce Huff a little bit, because in case you missed it, if Bryce Huff gets 8 sacks or more this year as a corresponding move because of the trade between the Eagles and the Niners, the Jaguars would receive a 4th-round pick from Philadelphia in lieu of trading Tank Bigsby away. That fifth would revert to a fourth. At the same time, let's be real, they want to keep their quarterback upright, but there have been plenty of jokes around Duval the last 24 hours or so of, hey, let's go up by 20, trot Nick Mullins out there and have him in the fourth quarter be a little sacrificial lamb for Bryce, just so that we can up those numbers a little bit.
I love that. I love how locked in the fans are. We're trying to move up from the 5th to the 4th round, so we need all scenarios to play out for us in our benefit.
Only if you're up by 20. Only if you're up by 20, right. And it's not Trevor Lawrence, it's Nick Mullins. That would be a good scenario to have.
I'm sure it took a lengthy conversation online for fans to settle to that being the exact scenario, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, it was funny because I brought it up on our post-game show, and then the words came out of my mouth, and Brett Martineau was like, oh, I don't know. And then the fans were like, it's okay. It'll be when we're up 20, and then Nick Mullins gets trotted out. But no, I do think this Robert Saleh defense, it's a young group. They spent their first 3 draft picks on the defensive side of the ball, especially in that front 7. And there's a clear emphasis to retool what had all but decayed after Saleh left to become the head coach of the Jets. And I think you're already seeing early returns. How they perform without Bosa, I think there's going to be a chip on their shoulder because there are so many who believe they are not the same group without Nick Bosa out there.
It'll be a fascinating result either way it goes. Mia O'Brien, check out her podcast, Club 904, also on ESPN Radio. Thanks so much, Mia. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely. Take care.
Busy woman over there. She does a phenomenal job. Up next, your time to shine, your texts, your talkbacks. Enter the Rage Cage on the iHeart Radio Talkback. And we might just give you UCF Kansas tickets for doing that. We'll be right back.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
All you home buyers out there, mortgage rates keep going down and inventory's up, and the Nickley Group is helping buyers save an average of $24,000 by negotiating rate buydowns, seller concessions, and the Hometown Heroes program, where first responders, teachers, nurses can save up to $25,000 in down payment and closing costs. And when you buy through the Nickley Group, you're not just getting a house, you're getting a team, free moving trucks, free home warranty, and more. Download their free buyer's guide at thenickley.com. If you want to buy or sell quickly, just call Nickley.
Emergency crews are blocking all lanes, clearing up an accident on International Speedway Boulevard eastbound at Indian Lake Road. There's a crash blocking all lanes on Colonial Drive eastbound before Rouse Road. The off-ramp's partially blocked from I-4 westbound to Lake Mary Boulevard. There's an accident getting cleared up there. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas, or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
Let's talk about Pizza Bruno. This place is top knots. I mean, not. Sorry, I can't get the garlic knots out of my head. You want meatballs, you want salads, you want fresh ingredients in every single mouth-watering bite. Pizza Bruno is your spot. Try my personal favorite, the spicy Stetson, crunchy pepperoni, big dollops of ricotta cheese, and hot honey. It is so good. 3 locations in Central Florida, Edgewater, Maitland, and on Curry Ford Road. Visit pizzabrunoFL.com and work up an appetite.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Still spending on search ads hoping to capture new customers? The truth is, search reaches people who already know your brand and is rapidly being replaced by AI. If you want real growth, you need to get in front of new customers on streaming TV, where attention is high on their favorite programming. Viant has proven technology to reach the right customers on the best programming, delivering real outcomes. Want better results? Visit ViantCTV.com today. That's ViantCTV.com.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000, 407-213-0000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers-only Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Follow The Game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Thanks to you, thousands of teachers now have the tools they need to thrive, and their students do too.
I get up every single morning, and I can't wait to see their smiling faces coming through my door.
iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, building brighter futures one classroom at a time.
As a teacher, I'm really trying to help them come to school every day and put their foot in the right direction of life.
And we're just getting started. Help keep the momentum going and nominate a teacher who's made a difference in your life at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
That's not a very good question. Tramel Jones is the backup quarterback.
That I like. I have no problem at all with a coach or a player calling out a member of the media. Not a problem for me. That right there is how you handle it. Well done, Billy Napier.
But Billy Napier is a laid-back guy. I will guarantee you, we're blasting Brian Kelly. I like a guy who's fiery. I covered Steve Spurrier in his day. Steve Spurrier would call me sometimes at 7 o'clock in the morning. The column he didn't like. And he'd be yelling at me at 7 o'clock in the morning, waking me up out of bed. Bianchi, what was that stupid column you wrote? Bianchi.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. The UCF Knights are heard here. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I got to flip the stream back on. Hold on 1 second, Jaden. I got to click buttons over. I'm a video producer on top of everything else that we got going on. Welcome back to the show. Now you can see my mug on YouTube. 96.9 The Game on YouTube. Go ahead and search us. No spaces when you do. Tuesdays are a triple threat at Wing House. Dig into $3 street tacos packed with bold flavor. Sip on $3 well drinks and enjoy a refreshing $3 16-ounce domestic draft. It's the perfect midweek escape. Unbeatable deals with a laid-back vibe. So whether you're flying solo or rolling deep with the crew, Taco Tuesday at Wing House is always a win. 3 Central Florida locations. Wing House, good food, beautifully served. Text in 50857 on the Mills Air text line, and you can hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback as well. Enter the Rage Cage for your shot at UCF Kansas tickets today. We'll keep refreshing that. Go ahead and light us up. Jaden just ordered. So I don't know if you guys are just tuning in now. Mike Bianchi will be joining us mid-show for the remainder. He's on top secret assignment. That's what he would want me to say. That's
Super
what Mike
secret.
likes. So when somebody's missing on a Mike Bianchi show, it's top secret assignment. And honestly, I don't actually know what he's doing for sure. I think I know what he's doing, but either way, his business. He'll join us mid-show. You got me, Brandon Kravitz, along with the prodigy of production, Jaden Grimes. And Jaden is not feeling 100%. We've all now taken turns since we started this show of having some sort of an illness. I'm thinking logically that we gave it to each other, that we have all gotten each other sick at this point.
Here's what I think what happened is you guys got sick, and then like a couple days later, I got sick. I went to the UCF UNC game. I'm in the student section going wild. I think that's just, I kind of lost my voice a little bit. I think that was mostly it.
No, this is not you losing your voice because you were in the student section.
I don't know.
You're sick.
I don't feel sick.
But you are, though.
I guess, yeah.
And so because he's not feeling well, and I guess mostly a throat congestion thing, that's what people say when they're sick and they don't want anyone to think they're sick. It's just a little throat thing.
Yeah, it's just
I'm just nasally.
Yeah, it's the season's changing.
So Jaden ordered Starbucks delivery.
Never done this in my life, by the way. This is the first time ever.
I'm gonna try and guess how much this ran you, because you've got Uber Eats they're gonna
DoorDash.
Okay, same thing. They're gonna hit you with their charge. You also have the overpriced drink and I love Starbucks, but they overcharge for their stuff. So that's at least $5. So $5 for the drink. You got a couple bucks so that DoorDash can get their cut. Then you got a tip because somebody
maybe
dropped
I didn't
off. Well,
I'm
you should.
I'm kidding.
I tipped.
I tipped $2.
$2. Now we're up to $9. I'm thinking you spent $15.
$12.50.
$12.50 for tea.
Yeah, and
for tea.
I told some coworkers in the hallway.
It's the biggest scam in the world, and we all do it. I don't know why we do this.
We have tea in the kitchen. I didn't know that until all our coworkers started making fun of me for buying tea when we already had it.
That also is part of this.
Yeah.
But I was ironically enough, this is one of those weird kind of satellite moments where I watched a TikTok last night as I was thumbing through during a commercial break, because who watches commercials anymore?
I skip through them. I use your method.
Yeah, well, my method's great, but eventually you end up getting to where you're live in the game, and then you're forced to watch the commercials. That's when I flip on TikTok, and I'm thumbing through, and the financial advisor popped up, and she said that the number one piece of advice that she gives to any of her clients is to not order through these delivery services like DoorDash or Uber Eats. The place you're ordering from marks up their product. You have to pay the actual service itself. You have to pay the driver, and then the next thing you know, you're paying double the price for the item that you're getting when you could just go and get it yourself. Obviously, you in this situation, you're at work, you thought of this mid-show, whatever. But that's that is the financial advice from a financial advisor that I saw just last night, and here you are ordering $12 of tea.
It's a large. It's a large.
That's. I hope you savor that. Is it good at least?
It's okay.
Oh God, but okay tea costs you $12.
A little. It's unfortunate.
I need to ask what they're paying you over here. You must be feeling pretty good to get $12 tea.
Oh shit.
Okay. Text it right now. Your shot at today's prize. Text the word Jolly to 50857 for your shot at Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets. They're coming to the Kia Center on December 13th. We're back in 60 seconds after this Fox Sports update.
Live, local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to the show. Game On here on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 930 in Jacksonville, and FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Light us up on the Mills Air text line. That's 50857. We're taking talkbacks as well. Enter the Rage Cage. Do we have our Rage sound effect ready to go? I wasn't sure if I could tee that up.
Give me like one more segment.
It's fine. This is we have many shows to do together over several months and years if we're lucky. So we don't need that right now. Don't worry about that. But I'm looking at the obviously just whenever you see yourself on a screen, it's hard not to go. You all turn into kids. So look, I'm on a screen. The YouTube stream with one person on it, because we don't have a camera over there, I think, for where.
Bianchi uses my camera.
Right. So it's two people on the show, but without Bianchi here, there's one person on the stream. It looks so much more small time when you just have one person talking. I can't.
We really need Bianchi here. We got to turn off that camera.
Right. Exactly. But on the text line, got a lot of people that want those TSO tickets. I'll make sure to pick out a winner during our next commercial break. So sit tight on that. But somebody said that $2 is a crappy tip. They're ripping you for the tip that you left for the tea that you ordered from Starbucks. I am big on tipping well. I was in the service industry for many years before going full-time into broadcasting. So I am a good tipper, and I think I'm a good gauge on who deserves a tip and when, and I'm not one of those that's like, I can't believe this person's asking for a tip. I will tip even when it's not necessarily appropriate or needed. If I'm in a good mood and I ordered a smoothie at Planet Smoothie, where you don't have to tip at a smoothie shop, but I'll do it every once in a while.
You're a nice guy.
Not every time. I'm not trying to oversell myself.
I was about to say,
here.
That's a lot of tips.
No, but $2. The guy, whoever delivered your tea, Johan delivered tea.
Yeah.
Okay, what's Jaden supposed to do? Light him up for $5? He got a cup of tea.
Starbucks is 5 minutes down the road. I don't come on. $2 is a good tip for that.
Yeah, I'm on your side with this. Usually an Uber Eats order is minimum $5 for the tip.
Oh yeah.
But for tea, I think what you order is also part of that. And hey, look, if you work for Uber Eats and you don't like a $2 tip, can't you just decline it?
There is a decline button.
I don't want to do that.
I think Johan liked my $2 tip.
I think he knew what you know what you're getting into when you accept the pickup tea at Starbucks order as an Uber Eats driver. So I've got your back on this one. Somebody else there, Paul, said, I don't understand what the Jags are doing with Travis Hunter. I think they're wasting his talent. I don't think he was worthy of the number 2 pick in the first place. I think they realize that this is just an average receiver and should focus on defense only. That's what I thought coming out of college, that he was a better defensive back than he was a wide receiver. And I think that it's hard to find lockdown corners in the NFL. As valuable as a good wide receiver can be, theoretically, the Jags already have that in Brian Thomas Jr.
No, they don't.
Well, they should. I mean, he looked like it last year. First 3 weeks of this year, he doesn't look like that. Well, let's just go off of, full season plus 3 game sample size. Brian Thomas Jr. should be a number 1. If you have a number 1, do you need another guy that you just drafted number 2 overall to play primarily at wide receiver? No. You need to bolster your defense. And that, if you've watched the Jags so far this year, it really is, outside of that Cincinnati game where they couldn't stop Jake Browning, that is their calling card, is defense. And I think if he can help on that side of the ball, that's where he should spend most of his time. But whatever it is, I think eventually he can get to the point where he is a factor on both sides. He's learning the NFL. This is a complex league. You've got to pick a side now and then focus on that, and then just the occasional package on the other side. This is not going to be a full-time wide receiver cornerback situation. I don't think anybody actually thought that was ever going to work. Somebody else here said, Brandon, really the competition differential on UF and UCF schedule this year, at least 21 points on average. I did my state of Florida hierarchy, and I had UCF rated higher than I had Florida. I have Florida at number 7 of the 8 teams that I ranked, and I have UCF at number 5. This isn't just resume based; it's also eye test. And the Florida Gators, I know that their schedule has been difficult, but they look terrible. I mean, they struggled and lost to USF. That's a team they have no business losing to. They lost that game. Could not even get first downs against Miami. No, Miami's good. I had them number 1 on my list. But you can't even get first downs against this team. So resume is part of it, but you also have to look the part and be able to do the simple things in a football game to where you can then, as somebody who's analyzing the sport, say, okay, at least you're good at this. At least you can do the basics. The Gators can't even do the basics well right now. And so, no, I'm not going to have them any higher than 7. That team is atrocious.
Defense is really good, though.
The defense is good, which is why they're ranked higher than the Dolphins. So
Okay, I'll give you that.
That was my nod to what they've done. Somebody said, even with a short sample size this year, do you think UF fans would choose Taven Jackson going forward over DJ Lagway? This is from a separate texter. That's my point. The fact that you're even asking that question, imagine how stupid you would sound at the beginning of the season before any games were played if you even said that out loud or texted it in. You would sound foolish. And right now, it's kind of a good question. How, as a Gator fan, could you not sit there and go, I think Taven Jackson would give us a better chance to win today than what DJ Lagway is?
I know he would.
Lagway can't hit simple throws. If you don't have a quarterback that can hit a receiver 10 yards down the field who's wide open, you're not a very good team. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to win. And Taven Jackson, Taven Jackson isn't going to go winning the Heisman or anything, but at least he can do that. So right now they would have a better chance of winning with Taven Jackson. Crazy thing to say, but it's true. That's where I'm at on that.
No, I completely agree with you. DJ Lagway needs to leave Florida. I feel like that's his best option.
I mean, that does seem to be where a lot of folks' minds are at with this walking boot thing, that he is just setting the stage for an exit. You get the transfer portal window closing in another week, and perhaps I think it's the red shirt preservation, that new rule. I think that's the one that people are eyeing. Bianchi's brought that up yesterday, that perhaps that could be the case. We'll see what happens. This story coming out of Tampa is bizarre. This is such a make it make sense situation. USF announced in June that Jim Leavitt would be inducted into its Hall of Fame despite his tumultuous exit. In August, Leavitt was arrested on domestic violence and theft charges. This was a story that we covered on this show after an alleged argument with an ex-girlfriend, and her new boyfriend was present. But those charges were dropped a couple of weeks ago after prosecutors said that facts and circumstances revealed that it just doesn't warrant a prosecution at this time. You would think that alone would give USF some pause on this situation, but nope, or didn't. They still plan to induct him into their Hall of Fame, and they even released a statement about it. This is a statement from the athletic director, he's called the CEO of athletics over at USF, Rob Higgins. Jim Leavitt and I had a candid and productive conversation over the last 2 days. We have mutually agreed, whenever anybody says that, they're lying. We have mutually agreed that he will not attend and or be recognized at October's USF Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony. USF acknowledges and appreciates the impact that Coach Leavitt had on USF football, and Coach Leavitt understands the importance of USF athletics being able to honor this year's inductees without distraction. So, I mean, it does say here that he's not going to attend and or be recognized, but from what I understand, he is still going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. They're just not going to they're not going to make a show of it. It's just like, throw him into the Hall of Fame, close the Hall of Fame doors, and run. If you're so ashamed of this guy being in your Hall of Fame, why are you so desperate to put him in there?
There's no reason to put him in
none.
there. It doesn't make any sense. Not in the slightest bit of sense.
You're not contractually obligated to put X number of people into your Hall of Fame every year. So this is very much a well, we're going to do it because we said we were going to do it, but let's not make a show of it. What's the point of entering a Hall of Fame if you don't get an induction? Isn't that like,
that's the whole point of it?
Pretty much 80 to 90% of the joy of being in a Hall of Fame is actually being inducted into that Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime situation, and there's no point to be put in any type of Ring of Honor or Hall of Fame if you can't even go give a speech or even be there when it happens.
It makes absolutely no sense. So I don't know. Maybe there's another detail that can come out about this about, well, they're going to hold off. I think if they're not comfortable with it, then they shouldn't do it. It's that simple. Up next, Jaden Grimes has been yelling in my ear for the last week that Daniel Jones should be considered one of the favorites for NFL MVP. We're only 3 weeks into the season, but I disagree. I also have some other names that should be above him at this point. We'll go over some of those. NFL MVP, who you got? We'll get to that next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Eustace Roofing has been the number one trusted roofing service in Central Florida for generations now. Honesty, quality, fair pricing, and reliability. That's how they've been able to serve the Central Florida community for the past 60 years. And this Halloween, Eustace Roofing has a scary good deal with their Spooktacular Savings event. $1,500 off of your roof replacement. That is a gorgeous deal. Get it? Like a pumpkin reference. Terms and conditions apply, by the way. But with this, whether it's quick repair, storm damage, or full replacement, Eustace Roofing can help. They tailor roofing solutions to your home. They don't just lay shingles and leave. They are detail-oriented and customer-first always. With a 4.9 Google rating and over 1,000 satisfied customer reviews, you will not find a roofing company more suitable for your home than Eustace Roofing. Mention my name, Brandon Kravitz, when you call, and head to eustaceroofing.com to schedule your free estimate. The real roofers, real craftsmen, real professionals, real experts. Visit eustaceroofing.com.
Hey, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. Mission Resort is renowned for its 2 stunning championship golf courses. I especially love El Campeon, the Champion. It was founded in 1917 and is one of the most tradition-steeped courses in the Southeast. Book your tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Bianchi sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. But there's more than just golf. You can also play pickleball, tennis, rent a boat at the marina, and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. Also, Mission Resort would like to invite everyone out to the Howey Artesian Market, your local destination for all things handmade and homemade, on September 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., rain or shine. Make hotel reservations, golf tee times, and get information on the Artesian Market at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, your next great escape is closer than you think.
You're going to run into some familiar delays on the major roadways if that's a part of your ride this afternoon on Florida's Turnpike southbound before that Osceola Parkway exit. There's slowdowns starting to pile up on I-4 westbound getting through that World Drive area. A crash is blocking all lanes on International Speedway Boulevard eastbound at Indian Lake Road. Look out for a crash on Colonial Drive before Rouse Road. Getting cleared up there. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas. Or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
The biggest headliners in live music share this stage.
2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Hi, this is Ed Sheeran.
Hi there, this is Brian Adams.
Make some noise for Tate McRae.
Hey, I'm Sammy Hagar.
Hey, this is Doodles from The Offspring.
We have a room 5. Good evening. Hey, this is John Fogerty. It's your girl Glorilla. iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Get ready to relive the once-in-a-lifetime moments, starting October 2nd, only on Hulu.
QVC, shopping that surprises and delights. And QVC has partnered with iHeartRadio for this exclusive offer. It's today's special value. Simple, versatile style. The Vince Camuto water-repellent leather or suede tall shaft boot with extended calf sizing will be your fall go-to. Today's special value, just $39.98 with free shipping. A QVC iHeartRadio exclusive offer. Today's special value. Shop now at QVC.com/TSV.
Just because an injury doesn't show up on an x-ray doesn't mean it isn't real. We know doctors that specialize in whiplash, sprains, strains, and tears. They can help us prove your pain is real and fight for your future medical needs. Farah and Farah.
Orlando. Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Welcome to Embers Only on iHeartRadio Orlando, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Step inside the luxury cigar lifestyle with our cigar of the week. And again, the guys over at Corona Cigar Company with an unbelievable deal available only online. You'll know why in a second. This is a premium smoke at literally half the price. It's the Romeo y Julieta Esteli Habano Robusto. And what you get here is a full-strength Nicaraguan rocket. This thing is great. All the way down to that Habano wrapper. It's beautiful fillers. You get an overall sweetness, but spice is there. It's delicious. Just a beautiful smoke, and this deal is incredible. Only $69.95 for this box. Normally $140. So grab it today. Online only. It's the Romeo y Julieta Esteli Habano Robusto, and it is your cigar of the week. Thanks for joining us for Embers Only. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Downtown, Heathrow, Sand Lake, Sarasota, Tampa, and always online at coronacigar.com.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
The NFL is off to a wild start.
To the right, he's got a lane. Herbert right sideline to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. He slides down.
And the new season lives on iHeartRadio.
Under pressure, set.
Local stations bring you the action live.
Justin Jefferson.
Plus, fantasy advice and expert analysis with the official NFL Podcast Network.
Everything you love about football is on the iHeartRadio app.
It's knocked away, intercepted, picked off.
Just search NFL to dive in.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
We're going to be out at Hourglass Brewing, the district location, on Friday. Game On Happy Hour. Bianchi and I will be out there live from 3 to 6 p.m. And then right when we go off the air, we're pouring up a couple of hoppy IPAs. I'm going to make Bianchi drink one, too. He's a light beer drinker. This Friday, it's September 26th, district location. Meet us as we go off the air. It's Game On Happy Hour. Look forward to hanging out with you. We'll be out there for the full hour, 6 to 7, right after we go off the air. So this is a conversation that we've been having. I think we have we've seasoned our show with a little bit of this, a light dusting of salt as far as NFL MVP discussion, but this has been mostly an off-air debate until right now as to 3 weeks into the season, who are we looking at as the NFL's most valuable player? And Jaden Grimes, our producer, is adamant that Daniel Jones needs to be at the top of this list. In fact, I don't want to put words into your mouth.
Top three.
You think he should be top 3? You're not necessarily saying he's number 1.
No.
But you think he should be in top consideration?
Absolutely. I think he should be top 3 in the NFL of MVP voting for sure.
Okay, so the guys that I have at the top of my list, if I were submitting a ballot, and 3 weeks into the season it's too early, admittedly, but you got to start somewhere. I think Josh Allen looks like the most valuable player in the NFL right now, statistically, in terms of where the Buffalo Bills are. They're undefeated. They have a marquee win under their belt against the Baltimore Ravens to open the season. He was miraculous. He led the most impressive comeback that we've seen so far this season. Justin Herbert, his team is also undefeated right now, and he's been virtually perfect so far this season. Statistically, he's there, putting the team on his back. The throw he made down the stretch of that game against the Denver Broncos into the end zone, Keenan Allen catches the pass. It was one of the best plays that I've seen it's one of the better plays you'll see from a quarterback. Don't want to speak with too much hyperbole here, but the next on my list, Lamar is always going to be in consideration, but Lamar's team is 1 and 2. So, the odds have him still at number 2. That's a little rich.
Stats wise, he's looking really good. It's just the team's 1 and 2 at this current moment.
That's the problem, and that matters to me. So I think I would actually put Jordan Love ahead of Lamar Jackson at this juncture. I would also put Baker Mayfield as one of my top considerations, and Jonathan Taylor. Running backs do not get enough love when it comes to the MVP debate. And so those would be, I don't know if I just listed 5, but that would be my top 5. That would be essentially my top 5. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Jonathan Taylor. I think that's my 5. And then after that, we can have a conversation about Daniel Jones.
I just don't think Jordan Love should be in that conversation. I really don't, especially after losing to the Browns. It's a bad loss.
Yeah, that is a bad loss.
It's a very bad loss.
He didn't look great there. So I would be comfortable removing Jordan Love. Tell me on why Daniel Jones, other than the fact that, he's looked really good. He's been clean.
Undefeated. 0 interceptions, a 71% pass completion, 816 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 55 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, a total of 871 yards and 6 touchdowns. That looks pretty similar to Josh Allen's number. I'm just saying.
It does.
And total yardage, Daniel Jones has more. Not by a lot, but he has more.
But here's the thing. I think signature wins, big moments, I think that matters. And while Josh Allen has been treated to the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins, Daniel Jones has had the Dolphins, the Broncos at home, and the Tennessee Titans. There's a reason why Daniel Jones, if you look at the odds board, and we're not going off of that, I'm just using this for context, Daniel Jones is 80-1 to win the NFL MVP.
Looks like I got to start betting.
You might want to lay the wager out there if you really think that this guy is in MVP consideration. What that is telling me is the same reason why I doubt his candidacy 3 weeks into the season is so much of his production early on. While it is impressive, a lot of that is because of the competition that he has gone up against in the situations that he has faced. The Broncos win is impressive. The Dolphins made everything easy on the Colts in that game. They didn't have to lift a finger. And then the Tennessee Titans might be the worst team in the NFL. It's a 3-game sample size, and Daniel Jones has looked good, but I don't want to go crazy on the guy. And I thought, by the way, he was going to bounce back this year. I'm a Daniel Jones guy. I'm just telling you, he's not in the MVP discussion yet. Have a real win against a real team. If he goes on the road and looks like this, the way that he has looked through 3 weeks against the LA Rams, I'm with you.
So
Top
let me ask
five.
you this. The Colts go 12-5, right? His numbers just keep growing and looking the exact same as Josh Allen. Do you not put him in the MVP talks? You have to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But
and
you
that's
gotta,
exactly what I think is going to happen.
Well, and see, that's the thing is, and that's part of the reason why when you do look at, okay, well, who are the guys that are most likely going to win this award, according to what the odds would tell you, is Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. Jordan Love is probably a little bit too high on this list. Jalen Hurts, by the way, I know everyone hates how little he throws the football. He has accounted for more rushing first downs than anybody else in the NFL. More than Jonathan Taylor, more than Saquon Barkley, more than James Cook, more than Christian McCaffrey is Jalen Hurts at the top of that list. Baker Mayfield. These guys have shown you year over year that they're going to do this, not just at the beginning of the season. They're going to be like this in the middle of the season. They're going to be like this at the end of the season. So there's this baked in faith for these players that doesn't exist for Daniel Jones. And while I think his resurgence was likely him being an MVP in that sort of discussion, that's a whole different ballgame. And I'm just not there yet.
But you
on
will
DJ.
be. I know you will be. Come back week 9 and you'll be like Jaden.
But here's the problem, though, and the way that I'm going to perceive this is if they continue to win and he continues to play well, it's probably beyond partially because of Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor has been more valuable to this team than Daniel Jones has been. And so if they continue to win, I'm probably going to give most of the credit to Jonathan Taylor, more so than Daniel Jones. So we can still give love to the Colts, but I would give it to the running back. If he is right now, he's starting to blow away the field in terms of rushing stats. He has 338 rushing yards. The next on the list is James Cook at 284. And he has almost 100 more than Derrick Henry, who's the 4th leading rusher in the NFL.
I mean,
he's been amazing.
Jonathan Taylor has been really good. I can't argue that.
I mean,
but it's Indiana Jones, man. I'm telling you, I have so much faith in this man.
I think you're buying the marketing, but I appreciate your conviction on the matter. Up next, our money man, Mike Giannetti, with the numbers behind what in the world the Bucs are going to do to patchwork this roster together. They're losing bodies left and right. We'll talk about that. Fred VanVleet down with the Houston Rockets. All of that right after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Football season has been hot. These college and NFL games have been absolutely tremendous. And the place to get in on all of the action is Florida's only legal sports book, Hard Rock Bet. Sign up today, bet $5 on any game. If it wins, you also score $150 in bonus bets. Get the party started over on Hard Rock Bet. If you're looking for an edge on your next wager, they have crazy stats and trends that you can find on the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's there. You can find the latest line moves, some previous history for players or teams that you want to bet on or fade. I mean, last night was so much fun, so prop heavy with the Lions and the Ravens, 68 total points scored in that game. The app is safe, slick, reliable, and updated to the second, and payouts are lightning quick. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Okay, fellas, let's be real. If your wife or girlfriend isn't herself lately, if she's tired, cranky, no interest in sex, you know it's not her fault. And if you're walking around foggy, low energy, low sex drive, it's not just you getting older. It's your hormones. Both of you. That's why I want you to call Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. This is where couples go when they want to feel alive again. This isn't one of those cookie cutter clinics you see at the strip malls where they give you a testosterone shot in the butt and send you on your way. The difference is Dr. John Carrazella. He's an internationally acclaimed Yale-trained doctor who gave up a successful career as an orthopedic surgeon to focus on hormone health. He's helped thousands of couples get their mojo back to feel sharp, sexy, and actually excited to be around each other again. And fellas, trust me, when she starts feeling better, everything changes for both of you. So stop toughing it out and start living again and do it together. Go to hormonesandwellness.com. That's hormonesandwellness.com for all the information. It's a gift that will truly last a lifetime.
Hey, Florida State fans, the purchase of the Florida State University Specialty License Plate supports scholarships for deserving students. And the university also provides a $25 rebate for first-time buyers. Find out more at mytag.fsu.edu. Go Noles!
I've had so many good experiences lately at Hammer and Nails. I'm not just an endorser. I am a customer as well. I signed up for their monthly service, and I'm never looking back because today's extraordinary man deserves a grooming experience in a space that's far from a take-a-number haircut farm and a pedicure station that reeks of acrylic fumes. That's not for you. It's time to care about men's grooming in the best way possible, and you get a good drink on top of it. Where rugged meets refined with a touch of class, grooming expertise with a masculine touch. And what do I always say? Look good, feel good, play good at Hammer and Nails.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Football season is in full swing, and there's no better place to get in on the action than Bet Online, your number one source for all things football. Bet Online has all the latest odds, breaking news, live scores, and even in-game betting, so you'll never miss a moment. From every pro to college football matchup to baseball, cage fighting, and hockey futures, Bet Online keeps you locked into the action all year long. Head to Bet Online today, because at Bet Online, the game starts here.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Just because an injury doesn't show up on an x-ray doesn't mean it isn't real. We know doctors that specialize in whiplash, sprains, strains, and tears. They can help us prove your pain is real and fight for your future medical needs. Farrah and Farrah.
Orlando.
Did you know that every diamond at International Diamond Center is over 1 billion years old? That's before dinosaurs, even before some of the stars in the sky. These elusive stones were originally formed miles beneath the Earth's surface, each one born in a volcanic explosion, yet kept hidden for generations. It's a fact that for every 1-carat diamond at International Diamond Center, trained miners blasted through over 200 tons of rock, and skilled experts sifted through the rubble to find the highly sought-after rough diamonds. Then, expert cutters spend untold hours shaping and polishing each stone, unlocking its beauty and fire and brilliance. From the hands of the craftsman direct to you, these magical stones are your piece of eternity. Precious, rare, unique, indestructible, and treasured all over the world. Oh, and the unbeatable prices at International Diamond Center? They're just a bonus. International Diamond Center. Uncompromising quality, unimaginable value. Altamont Springs, Mall at Millennia, and Waterford Lakes.
Is your AC working overtime? Your roof might be the reason. Upgrade now. Get 15% off and lower your energy bills. Real craftsmen, real experts, real roofers. Visit EustaceRoofing.com for a free estimate. That's EustaceRoofing.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for?
Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
UCF football is mourning assistant coach Sean Clark. He passed away Sunday at 50 after a medical emergency. Knights will visit Kansas State this week. The sale of the Rays, it's close to becoming official after Major League Baseball owners approved Patrick Salupski as the new owner on Monday. And Scotty Scheffler and several U.S. Ryder Cup team members say now they'll be donating their pay for playing in the event for charity. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810 Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810 or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeart Radio app. He's the Sultan of Salary, our very own sports financial guru. When athletes get paid, he's our go-to guy. He's Mike Giannetti from SpotTrack.com.
Double trouble with the mics today. Mike Bianchi is back from top secret assignment, and Mike Giannetti joins us on the hotline, our go-to sports financial expert, the best in the business. You can find his work over at SpotTrack.com and check out the SpotTrack podcast weekly presented by Better Edge. Mike, some big injuries in the NFL. Nick Bosa, Najee Harris, James Conner, CeeDee Lamb. The list goes on and on. Who could ill afford that blow the most? Were any of these guys in contract years that really couldn't afford to have injuries like this?
Anything. Having a good time right now. Unfortunately, that's a going rate of doing business at that position. It's basically a 1-year deal for Najee Harris. He misses out in his incentives. He's going to hit the market basically as a minimum guy going forward. And James Conner probably gets released next March from Arizona, even though he's been a pretty darn good soldier now into his 30s. But this is probably the end of the road for him. So it's tough sledding for that position out of the gate, and certainly this doesn't help.
Are we already at the point where we're going to start talking about a Daniel Jones contract extension?
You might be, but it probably doesn't make perfect sense just yet. Let's probably give it to about Thanksgiving. But look, we've kind of smelled this before, haven't we? This kind of feels like the next iteration of Sam Darnold, and that flamed out dramatically at the last moment before his $100 million guarantee came to him. So we've got some time, we've got a minute, but man, that is the storyline heading into week 4, no question about it.
Are the Bucs going to be able to patchwork things together? This roster continues to take hits. Mike Evans looks like he's going to be out for multiple weeks. We talked about this at the beginning of the season with the Browns and their Quinshon Judkins situation with exemptions and things like that. Are they going to have to flirt with that? Because they're down a lot of bodies at this point.
Yeah, backup tight ends just falling off the roster for the season. It's one of those, you're going to have to deal with it for now, but can you hold on for 18 weeks situations that we've seen the Chargers and the 49ers and some of these other franchises deal with over the past couple of seasons? It might be too far gone. They're going to try to patchwork this together with practice squad players for a bit, but, outside of some kind of massive trade deadline deal that maybe, brings them together in November, they're going to be playing on fumes here for the next 15 weeks. That's a tough way to compete, even in a rough division that they're dealing with right now.
Mike, back to Daniel Jones real quick. If he were to continue playing at an MVP level like he is, and the Colts, end up winning their division and maybe making a playoff run, what sort of contract are we looking at for him?
Yeah, the Darnold one probably makes the most sense, right? About 3 for $100 with about a third of that fully guaranteed, and then we'll see after that. And, Geno Smith basically got the same thing and isn't obviously holding up his candle right now, but that's kind of the going rate. It is still the Baker Mayfield contract, right? It's that 1 for 33, basically a 1-year franchise tag, and then we'll add on to it as we go from there. I will say this, the Colts have been one of those teams that have paid well, even to commitments they probably shouldn't have made out of the gate. They have paid to keep players. They have paid to bring players in. It's why they won the Daniel Jones sweepstakes in the first place in terms of this showcase contract. So I'd expect it to be a very healthy contract, but we've kind of seen this 33 to 35 million per year be the benchmark for these players going forward.
Also, you're in the business of salaries and contracts. How do you explain college football programs being able to sign coaches to like 8-10-year contracts with these massive buyouts when the coach will probably inevitably get fired at some point. I'm curious, what's the average length of an NFL contract, and how does that compare to colleges?
Yeah, in terms of the coaches, it's about the same. You're getting on 5 to 6 year contracts regularly. The difference with college that we see a little bit in the NFL, but not as aggressively, is these guys are constantly getting re-ups, getting extensions, getting years tacked on, and sometimes that affects the buyout, and sometimes it doesn't. But I've taken a good look at about a few dozen of these this year right now, because you're right. This is a growing money that doesn't seem to be going away. And we're talking about buyouts in the 60s and 70 million for some of these coaches that have losing franchises right now. So where does the money come from? That's the $1 million question in college sports, but they seem to have plenty of it, because we see great coaches falling by the wayside in season, out of season, and after just 1 or 2 years on these deals.
Have you hit Dabo Sweeney buyout into the Google search yet?
I've read the contract, Brandon. That's how nerdy I get with this stuff. And man, it's pretty amazing. 60 million this year. It drops to like 57 next year. He's either not going anywhere, or he's going to be one of the most handsomely paid, no-show contract players or coaches in the history of sports. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's why he was so cocky at the podium a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Before we let you go, Fred VanVleet, he went down with the Houston Rockets. You don't often see September ACL tears in the NBA, but here we are. What does that do structurally for the Rockets as they build for a championship?
You just hate it, because they've spent 3 years ramping up kind of this moment, which was, we're going to drop Kevin Durant on this roster and just go. And this is certainly a step back, but they're deep. They're young and they're deep. They do have some ways to fix this. It's early. We've got a whole lot of months ahead of us for them to make an acquisition, and they do have some young players that I think are attractive in that regard. But this is certainly a huge miss for them, because this was supposed to be the somewhat underpaid veteran presence that was just going to be the adult in the room when they need it, even when Kevin Durant is going to slide in that roster and make them a contender. But I still think they're in the conversation, and they do have ways to maneuver over the next couple of months. They're going to have to do so to kind of contend going forward.
Great stuff as always. Mike Giannetti, sports financial analyst, the best in the game. You can find his work over at SpotTrack.com and check out the SpotTrack podcast. Multiple episodes drop weekly, presented by our partners over at Better Edge. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Coming up next, we want to hear from you. And hey, Bianchi's back. It's great.
I am back.
We got to get him up to date on everything that we've talked about. And we want you to enter the Rage Cage. Go ahead and hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talk Back. We're back with that next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
When it comes to air conditioning in Florida, you don't want just anyone working on your system, all right? You want a local expert you can trust. That's why so many of us rely on Ziegler Air Conditioning. Pat Ziegler, Jason, and the crew have been cooling Orlando homes for 40 years. They just celebrated their 40-year anniversary. It's honest service, skilled technicians, and a maintenance program that's the best around. Staying on top of your AC maintenance keeps your system running better and longer, and it keeps your warranty intact too. Plus, Ziegler Air doesn't believe in pushing sales. Their techs are rewarded for quality work, not commission checks, all right? And they are always available, always reliable. I told you, Labor Day weekend, I had an issue with my AC. They were there within an hour and had my AC cooling within an hour and a half after that. If you need help, call 407-245-8765. That's 407-245-8765. Meredith will answer the phone and get the ball rolling on whatever you need. And you are on your way to cooler days. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
Honest, trustworthy, out for your best interest. Not things often said about roofing companies, but do yourself a favor and spend a moment researching Eustace Roofing. You'll find that those thoughts and those reviews are said all over the place. That's how they've been able to serve the Central Florida community the way that they have over the past 60 years. And this Halloween, get ready for the scary good deals, a spectacular savings event with Eustace Roofing, $1,500 off of your roof replacement. Go ahead and find them online. Give them a call. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz sent you by. Eustace Roofing isn't just local. They're all over Orlando and Central Florida. It's a small town service serving all of Orlando. Visit them online, eustaceroofing.com.
Colonial Drive eastbound at Tampa Avenue. The left lane's blocked.
Traffic's getting by now westbound on International Speedway Boulevard at Indian Lake Road, although crews are still on the roadways there. On I-4, you're going to run into some familiar delays. Traffic starting to pile up westbound through that World Drive area. There's congestion getting through the city. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
QVC, shopping that surprises and delights. And QVC has partnered with iHeartRadio for this exclusive offer. It's today's special value. Simple, versatile style. The Vince Camuto water repellent leather or suede tall shaft boot with extended calf sizing will be your fall go-to. Today's special value, just $39.98 with free shipping. A QVC iHeartRadio exclusive offer. Today's special value. Shop now at QVC.com/TSV.
Miss us while we're gone? Download the Game On podcast on iHeartRadio and take us with you wherever and whenever you want. It's all of Bianchi and I's wildest takes on demand on the daily. And while you're at it, make us your number one preset as well. Just search Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz, the state of Florida's premier sports talk radio show. Now back to these ads.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if you could get big bank muscle with small bank hustle, big bank convenience, and small bank connection? That's First Horizon, bringing together the best of big and small to help you on the road to your horizon. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Connected to the things you love.
The free iHeartRadio app does that with live radio, 24/7 news, live sports, and your favorite podcasts.
There's no catch and no charge.
Radio, your way.
Join the millions who already have it. The free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
If you weren't watching the game, you would think, hey, Tua had a great game, 26 of 32, 315 yards. If you just look at the stat, he had a good game, but you watch that game, and late in the game, Tyreek Hill's running free. Did you see that pass?
Oh my God!
Running,
sails it right over his head. And it was the same thing against Indianapolis. You start in a hole, and then you pull your way back, and then late in the game, it's penalties, it's miscommunications, it's errant passes over the head of your top wide receiver. I don't care what your box score says. If you can't take advantage of opportunities, then you're just not a good enough quarterback in the NFL.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget was when this drill instructor that I admired so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeart Radio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Free never sounded so good. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
This segment right here brought to you by Burn Pest Control, my go-to pest provider. Joe's team doesn't just treat the pest problem, they solve it. Keep your home protected from the bugs all year long with Burn Pest. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz and Mike Bianchi sent you by. Get 10% off your initial service at burnpest.com. See those bugs try and roll up in the house sometimes? Just laying on their back. Just laying it. They don't stand a chance. Bianchi, welcome back to the show. How you feeling? How you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, the rage cage is open. I'm getting ready to rage on you, by the way. Yeah, if you want to rage about something, 50857, text in or use that talk back line. Do we have a prize?
We do. We have UCF Kansas tickets to give away.
Yeah. So rage about something, you can win those tickets. I'm going to rage on you, Kravitz. I heard your MVP discussion as I was, driving in from my top secret assignment, and I'm gonna. Jordan Love over Daniel Jones.
Tell him, Bianchi. I discarded Jordan Love. I'm willing to take information and make adjustments here.
Okay, but you made no sense. You were saying, well, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson do it every year. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about this season.
Well, I didn't have Lamar on my list.
3 games into this season, and the prodigy of production is right. Daniel Jones, completion rate higher than Josh Allen, just as many rushing touchdowns, just as many interceptions, 0, by the way, same as Josh Allen, has played the same caliber of competition. And yes, I'm counting the Ravens, who have the worst defense in the league, and Josh Allen compiled a bunch of statistics against that terrible defense that we saw again last night. So don't give me this stuff about Daniel Jones needs to do it against good competition. Who's Josh Allen done it against this year?
Well, the Ravens were one of them.
The Ravens have the worst defense in the league statistically. The worst defense in the league. They've given up more points than any defense in the league. Did you see that defense last night? They got run over last night.
Yes, they did. But Josh Allen also orchestrated the best comeback that we've seen through 3 weeks this season. And I do think that when you're talking in week 3, where an MVP is not named, your track record does matter in my belief in your ability to continue to look like an MVP. So that does matter. And when I was mentioning that, by the way, I was talking about why you have Josh Allen as the odds-on favorite to be the MVP right now.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. But to not even have Daniel Jones in your top 5?
He's not my top 5. I have a Colt in my top 5. I have Jonathan Taylor, who's leading the league in rushing.
Our texter made an excellent point. Taylor's been with the team for years, even had a 1,600-yard season and didn't sniff MVP. And now they have Daniel Jones, and suddenly they're a factor. That should come into the equation too. Jonathan Taylor's been on the team. He's always been good. And what have they done? Until they got Danny Dimes.
They've had a quarterback that turns the ball over. Daniel Jones is a really good game manager. And he's helping the team.
Now you're going to minimize. And minimize his ability by calling him a game manager. Okay.
He's a really nice quarterback. This is why I believed that he could lead the Colts to a division championship when the season started. It wasn't because he's people are going crazy at this MVP stuff. What are we doing? He's played the Dolphins.
You're saying who the MVP is right now. Wasn't that who are your MVP candidates right now, 3 games into the season? Not who do you think's going to be the MVP at the end of the season. I agree with you. I think it's going to be Josh Allen. But if you're asking me who the MVP is right now at this stage of the season, it's Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Daniel Jones is doing something totally unexpected, and that wins you awards. We see it all the time when Coach of the Year awards. Oh, look at what, Jamal Mosley a couple years ago finished second in the Coach of the Year battling. Why? Because the Magic were surprisingly good. Daniel Jones and the Colts are surprisingly good.
That wins you. That can win you Coach of the Year, and that can win you Most Improved Player and things like that. Being surprising doesn't really win you MVP. Daniel Jones isn't going to win it. So, I mean, we can argue in week 3 about where he is on a list. It's not going to happen.
How do you not have Puka Nakua?
And Puka Nakua,
the guy's he's uncoverable.
I would be okay with that. I think Nakua should be in the top 5. I had a vacancy in my 5 spot. I mean, if we're giving credit, the Packers, I know they looked bad against the Cleveland Browns. They give up 0 points until the fourth quarter, and a lot of that was just mistakes more so than their defense letting up. But Rashawn Gary leads the league in sacks. Why can't we give any respect to defensive players? I'm sure Micah Parsons will find his way into that conversation. By the way, Micah Parsons up against the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. What would you set the over-under at for the amount of sacks that he has in that game?
Oh, God. Who's I don't know. Cowboys, wow. I want to see a Cowboys-Ravens game. I want to see how many points would be scored in that game with those two.
Yeah, probably 100. By the way, let's head to the talk back. We got Paul standing by on the Rage Cage.
Hey, BK, this is Paul. I don't know what the Jags are trying to do with Travis Hunter. I don't think he was worthy of the number 2 pick in the first place, but I think that the Jags realize that he's just an average wide receiver. I think they should just let him focus on defense. That's just my 2 cents worth. Hopefully it gets better for Hunter and the Jags. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'm confused as to what they're doing as well. I would also offer some caution, some patience. We're talking about 3 weeks into the season for a guy that is trying to play 2 positions. So I would like if the Jags had a plan, but also it's 3 weeks into the season for a guy who's trying to play 2 positions as a rookie in the NFL. So I wouldn't know who expected it to look great right out of the gate.
I mean, come on. I realize we like to overreact to every week and every game, but yeah, we're 3 weeks into the season, and these guys are. I mean, where everybody's panicking about the rookie running backs, and let's let the guys. Can we give them half a season? They used to get 2 or 3 seasons to develop. Now, can we give them a half a season to develop? Is that too much? Is that asking too much?
I think
half a season.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that that's fair. What I would like to see from the Jags is just a plan of action, because it doesn't seem like they really have one. It's like they're just throwing stuff against the wall with him and seeing what sticks. If that's their plan, okay, but I just don't think it's the best plan. I think having an idea of where you want him to play, where you want him to excel, and what that looks like, and then growing from there is probably the best way to do it. But whatever, they're in the locker room, I'm not. Coming up shortly, Bet It or Forget It, the daily game show that has taken the sports talk radio world by storm. Still have your shot at UCF Kansas tickets. The next person, so we're going to give a pair to Paul. We have another pair to give away. The next talkback that we get in the Rage Cage on the iHeartRadio talkback wins the second pair of UCF Kansas tickets.
And if you're going to rage, I mean, Paul was fine.
Put a little anger into it.
Yeah, let's have some rage.
All right,
let's have
rage.
Some passion.
We'll step aside for 60 seconds.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz is back. Time to see if they're ready to put their money where their mouth is. Let's get into another round of Bet It or Forget It.
Top of the 5 o'clock hour, this segment brought to you by the worldwide leader in peer-to-peer betting across the planet, Better Edge. If you're going to win long-term in the sports betting endeavor, which is very difficult to do, you have to find a second outlet where you can get the best numbers consistently week after week in college football, the NFL, and beyond. And Better Edge is your pal in order to do just that. Better Edge is the go-to social betting platform where you can bet against your friends, you can bet against other sports bettors across the country, and you can earn a free $20 just for signing up. Use the promo code BeatBrandon and sign up for $20 upon your first arrival at betteredge.com or on the Better Edge app. Anything else you want to get off your chest, Mikey, before we get to the world-famous game show, Bet It or Forget It?
I've got some really good Bet It or Forget It for you.
Well, then, with that, let's hit the music, Prodigy, and kick things over to the Bulldog.
It is time for the wildly popular, critically acclaimed game show, Bet It or Forget It. Let's start with the big news in college football today. The second longest tenured coach in FBS football, Mike Gundy, fired today by Oklahoma State. He was in his 21st season. Oklahoma State fell to 1-2 after that bad 19-12 loss to Tulsa. Over the weekend, they've lost 11 of their last 12 games, but there was a time when Mike Gundy was considered one of the top offensive minds in college football. He compiled a record of 170-90 from 2005 to 2025. 8 10-win seasons, Big 12 title in 2011, played in the Big 12 title game as recently as 2 seasons ago. Bet it or forget it, Mike Gundy accomplished a lot more at Oklahoma State than Billy Napier has accomplished at Florida. It's amazing that Napier has lasted longer this season than Gundy.
I would say forget it. Forget about it. What's amazing is that a guy lasted 20 years in college football. I mean, can we take a moment and appreciate that? It's incredible that Mike Gundy lasted as long as he did. It felt like he's lost his fastball over the last couple of years, and this program has fallen off in a very big way. And I think they fell off in terms of recruiting as well, because they were not expected to be very good coming into this season. So it started before the year. This is where you give Billy Napier the slightest bit of grace, is that we talked to Edgar Thompson about this yesterday. What is Billy Napier good at? He's good at building a roster. That at least gets people excited before the season started. Nobody was excited about Oklahoma State football before the year started.
Nah. The Detroit Lions literally ran over the Baltimore Ravens last night. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery both ran for 2 touchdowns. 224 yards rushing for the Lions to 85 for the Ravens. The Ravens fall to 1-2 now. Bet it or forget it. The Ravens have the worst defense in the league statistically. They're 1-2. They are on their way to being the biggest disappointment in the NFL this season.
I'm going to say forget it. Forget about it. I think sometimes who you play matters. They have the worst defense in the NFL. Their defense is problematic. They've also gone up against the MVP, Josh Allen, and the best well-oiled machine in the league in terms of play calling and brute force in the Detroit Lions. Tell me the other team that's faced the Bills and the Lions in 2 of their 3 games this year. That's part of the reason why. It's an offensively driven league. I mean, they held the Browns to 17. We'll see what they do against the Chiefs. Are anemic offensively. So if they look a little bit better on defense, you go, okay, that's probably more of a competition thing than it is the defense actually being bad. Let's also remember that they were without their starting defensive tackle, Matabuke, who's one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL, facing a Lions team that wants to run the ball down your throat. That's the wrong player to be missing that day. I think that's part of the reason why their defense was as bad as it was.
Bet it or forget it. Ben, who the rumors of Detroit's demise have been greatly exaggerated.
Oh, God, bet it. my God. Not only does their offense look just as flawless as it did a year ago, sans what happened in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers, it's just as gutsy. It's just as innovative. They had a play around the goal line where Jared Goff hands the ball off to, I think it might have been Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then pitches it over to Jahmyr Gibbs. The creativity just blows me away. They're always coming up with new ways to get their star players the ball in space. And then Mike, come on. How can we not talk about that 4th down call to go for it? You're up by a touchdown. You don't want to give the ball back to Lamar Jackson. So it's 4th and short. You have one of the best run games in the league.
That's why we love the meathead. That's why we love the meathead.
Play action fake deep down the field on 4th and short. I mean, come on. Ben Johnson, who? Absolutely.
The ACC has agreed to move to a 9-game conference schedule. That happened yesterday. Of course, it comes on the heels of the SEC making that decision to move to 9 games last month. The SEC and the Big 12 also are requiring conference teams to play 10 Power 4 games, as is the ACC now. It's going to be harder and harder, by the way, Kravitz, to schedule non-conference games because the schedule is now being taken up by all the conference games. Bet it or forget it. You could see a day where the Florida State game won't be an annual rivalry.
I'd say bet it. I don't know how you couldn't look at it this way, that college football is trending to a place where your conference schedule is the schedule. That's all you do is play teams inside your conference. I think it would be awful for college football. I think they're getting a little too far away from that with all of this conference expansion. We've said it many times. I'll say it one more time, and then I'll leave it alone for the rest of the college football season. Get the patsies off your schedule for these high-level college football programs, but there should be a requirement that you play teams that are in your region, because that's what college football is really all about. Who didn't have fun last weekend with Florida and Miami outside of Gator fans? And Florida USF, these are the matchups that people should see, and elsewhere. I mean, play that game in the Northeast with those teams in the Midwest. I hope that we don't lose that completely, but it does seem like things could be trending that way.
By the way, Miami coach Mario Cristobal lamenting over the weekend after beating Florida that, hey, we should be playing these guys every year. Bet it or forget it. You would like to see Florida play Miami and Florida State in alternating years. For instance, one year they play Miami, the next year they play FSU, next year Miami, like that. Florida, instead of playing Florida State every year, they would alternate Miami and Florida.
No, forget it. Forget about it. No, come on. That Florida State game is iconic in college football. I don't want to live in a world where that's not one of the games that we look forward to after Thanksgiving.
Auburn men's basketball coach Bruce Pearl announced his retirement yesterday, less than 6 months after wrapping up the best season in program history with a trip to the Final Four. Of course, they lost in the semifinals to the Gators, who went on to win the national championship. Pearl is 65 years old. The program's winning as coach. His son, Stephen Pearl, is taking over as the head coach of the Tigers. Bet it or forget it. Bruce Pearl is just being a good dad and stepping aside while his program is on top so his son can have a top-level coaching job.
Yeah, absolutely. Bet it. That's what Bill Belichick is attempting to do at UNC, is my theory, to help out his son Steve. Not working out great, by the way. But Bruce Pearl's had an incredible career. You know, he has definitely lived in the gray area in terms of the rules with college basketball, but he's a phenomenal coach. Auburn is that program's rolling. They've been good for years under him, and I think they'll continue to be. I'm with you on that.
Okay, I don't know if you've talked about this story earlier today, but Major League Baseball has approved the sale of the Tampa Bay Rays to a group headed by Jacksonville real estate developer Patrick Zalupski. That was announced yesterday, so it looks like the Rays are essentially sold to Patrick Zalupski and his group. But, Kravitz, Rob Manfred has said, hey, their next step is to get a stadium built in Tampa. If they can't do that, we would like them to stay in the region. The region. We want a team in Florida. Kravitz, I don't know about you, but I think we're in the region of Tampa Bay right here in Orlando. Bet it or forget it. Even if the Rays stay in Tampa, you agree with me that Orlando is its own entity and might still get a Major League Baseball expansion team.
Bet it. I don't think it's that idea is given enough discussion and credibility. How many people, if Orlando had a baseball team, game in and game out for the 81 home games that you get as a Major League Baseball team, how many of those seats in a 30,000 seat stadium would be filled by Tampa residents every single game?
None. Or no.
2%?
Not all the
3%?
tourists that are here on vacation, they're going to go to the Orlando baseball games, not the Rays baseball.
So it's going to be occupied by Orlando residents,
right,
and tourists.
Right.
So does it matter if the Trop or wherever the Rays are is 2 hours away? If you're able to sustain a baseball product and a fan base without using anybody, not a single soul driving over from Tampa, then what's the difference between Orlando being 2 hours west or 2 hours east of Tampa or being in the middle of the country in Kansas? It's no different whatsoever. So I'm totally with that.
What's the difference between the Orioles being 30 miles away from the Nationals?
Exactly. I mean,
right?
The Tampa Bay Lightning are successful because Orlando is nearby? No, they're successful because people in Tampa go to Lightning games. That's the reason why. The Orlando Magic are a successful basketball product. I don't know anybody from Tampa that drives over here with any regularity to go to Magic games. It is really, when you think about it, the idea that, well, you can never have 3 baseball teams in the giant state of Florida, yet you have multiple baseball teams in Chicago, multiple baseball teams in New York, multiple baseball teams in Los Angeles, and how many different teams in the state of Texas? Get out of here with that. Put a team here. I don't care what happens with the Rays.
There you go. And that is Bet It or Forget It.
Coming up next, we saved this one for you, Mike, because there's so much good audio to get to today. Mic'd Up Part 2 this week coming up next on Game On.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, you want a truck that can handle work, weekends, everything in between? That is the 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500, and nobody in Central Florida knows Silverados like Don Mealy Chevrolet, where they are celebrating their 50th anniversary in Central Florida. Right now, save up to $11,000 and choose from over 60 Silverado 1500s in stock, from the tough, dependable work truck to the top of the line high country. That is the one I want, by the way. There is a Silverado for every budget and every lifestyle. Great trucks, good people. That's Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont. Chevy, together, let's drive.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need more than just a sign in the yard. You need a pro who knows the market, knows the process, and knows how to fight for you. That's why I lean on Kevin Krager. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings a deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, and cutting-edge real estate technology. But what truly sets him apart is Kevin's background in construction. He knows what to look for so that you don't end up in a money pit. From foundations to roof lines, he's focused on protecting your investment every step of the way. And it doesn't stop when you sign on the dotted line. Even after closing, Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or upgrades that you may want, all at cost to his clients. I've seen firsthand how Kevin Krager works, how responsive and honest he is. The bottom line is he gets results. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or making that first big move, he's going to guide you every step of the way. Call Kevin Krager today. Your future home will thank you.
You're going to get stuck in some slowdowns on I-4 eastbound before you head over St. John's River Bridge. Stop and go traffic on I-4 westbound through that World Drive area. Off-ramp backup From Florida's Turnpike southbound to Osceola Parkway, there's a crash on International Speedway Boulevard at Indian Lake Road, getting cleared up on Colonial Drive eastbound at Tampa Avenue. The left lane's blocked there. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas. Or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Orlando.
Hello, Florida State University Seminoles. Want to show your school spirit? FSU specialty license plates are a great way to do just that. Stop by your local tax collector's office and get yours today. To learn more, visit mytag.fsu.edu. Go Noles!
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all to help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/get-it-all.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars, and you're going to love GiveMeTheVin.com.
GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your
People today want quality. They want something that's going to last.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire talking about the difference between a handcrafted designer ring and the overseas knockoffs you see at most jewelry stores.
When you come here, you don't have to settle for a cookie cutter ring that's being made by the masses.
It's true. IDC has been chosen by the top bridal designers to be their only authorized retailer here. Names like Tacori, Verragio, Simon G, A. Jaffe, Henry Dawsey, and dozens more. American-made rings of the highest quality and lasting value.
We're able to offer brands that other jewelers tried to get over and over and over again. These brands are known, respected. They deliver a quality product for a fair valued price.
So you don't have to compromise. At IDC, you will always be guaranteed a real, natural, rare diamond showcased in a handcrafted ring with exceptional craftsmanship. It's all part of the IDC experience.
People here trust us because we are the real deal.
International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Millennium Mall, and Waterford.
Tired of cookie cutter barbershops and sterile salons? Yeah, me too. At Hammer & Nails Grooming for Guys, they believe today's extraordinary man deserves more than just a haircut. Picture this: premium grooming services in a space that's actually built for men. No pedicure fumes, no take a number chaos, just expert care, craft cocktails, large TV screens. You can watch all the games and personalized headphones, an atmosphere where you can actually unwind. Because when it comes to men's grooming, they don't cut corners. They redefine the whole experience. Hammer & Nails, come as you are, leave as you want to be.
It takes decades of hard work to buy a home, but the hard work doesn't stop there. At Rocket Mortgage, we believe your home is an active investment, not a passive one. So let's put it to work. When you unlock home equity, you unlock new doors for your family, renovations, extensions, even buying your next property. Get started today with smarter tools and guidance from real mortgage experts. Find out how at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage LLC, licensed in 50 states, NMLS ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Hey everybody, Daniel Jeremiah here.
And I'm Bucky Brooks.
On Move the Sticks, we take you inside the game, from breaking down college prospects and NFL rookies
to evaluating team building philosophies, coaching trends, and how front offices construct winning rosters.
We study the tape, talk to decision makers, and give you a perspective you won't find anywhere else. Listen to the Move the Sticks podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the Move the Sticks podcast and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Embers Only is brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. coronacigar.com.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
I'm a beer fanatic, so I don't settle for anything less than the best. And the folks at Hourglass Brewing deliver quality, consistency, everything I'm looking for in a good beer. With that neighborhood charm at their 2 Orlando locations, Hourglass Brewing is a first-class brewery from the same one that cranks out Zoneheads 35 once per year, but it's more than that. They crank out the hits on the daily. 25-plus Hourglass beers on tap every single day. Stop by for happy hour. $3 I4 iSource citrus lagers from 4 to 6 p.m. all day on Mondays. They even have wines, seltzers, ciders, something for everybody. Cozy up to the bar, get to know their friendly staff. Hourglass is a welcoming watering hole for the entire Orlando community, and they have a location right near downtown Orlando as well, on top of the one right around the corner from me in Longwood. This isn't mass-produced. This is craft. Fresh ingredients, local pride, and a taste that you can actually savor. So next time you need to unwind, skip the ordinary and raise a glass to the extraordinary. Raise a glass to Hourglass Brewing.
The Dolphins play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Coaches, players, GMs, everyone's got an opinion these days. Let's hear from the biggest names in the game. It's time for Mic'd Up.
Mic'd Up brought to you by Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach. The perfect weekend beach getaway, not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. And right now they have a Florida residence offer. You ready for this? 20% off room rates and a $50 food and beverage card. You can make your reservations at hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach. All right, Krabby Crabs, in memory of Mike Gundy getting fired at Oklahoma State on the 18th anniversary, one day after the 18th anniversary of this famous rant against the Oklahoma State reporter. Let's play that rant.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me or our coaches. Don't write about a kid that does everything right, that's heart's broken, and then say that the coaches said he was scared. That ain't true. And then to say that we made that decision because Donovan Woods, because he threatened to transfer, that's not true. So get your facts straight. And I hope someday you have a child and somebody downgrades him and belittles him, and you have to look him in the eye and say, you know what? It's okay. They're supposed to be mature adults, but they're really not. Who's the kid here? Who's the kid here? Are you kidding me? That's all I got to say. Makes me want to puke.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest coaching rants of all time. Is it not?
No, that's at top of the line. It really doesn't get much better than that. You got that. You've got Denny Green from the Arizona Cardinals. They are who we thought they were. You got some Herm Edwards. I mean, it's in the top 5 of the coach rants that I've heard, and I haven't heard the full clip in a while. I always hear the "I'm a man, I'm 40," but to hear the rest of it again, that was pretty cool. And now he's almost 60. This is crazy how time flies like that.
Although I don't know, in today's world, he made that rant against a female reporter, Jenny Carlson, out in Oklahoma. In today's world, I don't know if he could get away with that. Wouldn't that be considered bullying a little bit in today's world, Kravitz?
Probably. I think it would depend on what the question was, and then maybe people would have his back. But you're probably right.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Gus Malzahn, pretty much parroting what Brandon Kravitz has been saying about Florida State. Listen.
We're all, we got new players, 11 new starters. We got a new offensive staff. A lot of us hadn't worked together. We're still growing. And no, we've been real honest. Each week we're honest with our guys. Hey, we're playing a lesser opponent. All right, we should do this, but just get ready because the execution level is going to have to be higher with the better opponents we're playing. I think they understand that, but no, we're still, and when I say we're a work in progress, I mean that. We're still growing as an offense. We played a lesser opponent. That's great, but the real season is coming up now, and so our guys, I feel like they understand that.
Gus is feeling. I don't care what he says right there. He's feeling it, Kravs. He's feeling that the mojo is back. He's going for the number 1 rated offense in the country. And you know what? he may very well get it.
I very, very well could. It is possible. They're sitting in a pole position right now as far as that goes, but he knows that he's been running up the score on these patsy opponents. Let's see what happens as the season starts to get a little bit tougher. I don't think they're going to be averaging 630 yards per game like they have been so far. It's unrealistic numbers, video game numbers that FSU has been putting up.
Yeah, let's see what happens in 2 weeks when they play the U. Carson Beck cannot wait for that game, right, Carson?
It's a work week next week. Obviously, we'll start looking at Florida State. We'll fix some of the issues and maybe mishaps that we had this game. But we'll start looking at Florida State. Start preparing for them. Excited for that matchup. I've never played in that stadium. I think that's a cool thing about being in the ACC now. I'm playing now, heading into ACC play, playing a lot of different teams that I've never played before. I'm getting to play at places I've never played before. So really looking forward to that. Really excited.
Carson Beck saying, like, after being in the SEC, I get to play in the ACC now, right?
Yeah, he was trying to give respect. The guy did, hey, that's really cool. It's a really cool place. I've definitely played in other places that may have similar qualities, but no, it's cool that I get to play at Doak. It seems like a nice place. Yeah. I mean, come on. And Florida State is basically an SEC school, so I'm not by any means throwing shade at FSU, but it's no different than what he experienced at Georgia. It's pretty much all the same. It's going to be a huge test for both of those teams. Both teams have been tested already this season, but it feels like it's been a minute for them.
Billy Napier, what about your Gator offense?
Yeah, I think that when we watch the tape, it'll be a combination of a lot of things. I think every position is contributing to our issues. Obviously, we talked about DJ and what he's been through this offseason. I do think that there's some rhythm missing there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to be what we're going to go back to the drawing board. I think the open date's coming at a good time there, and we got to evaluate
rhythm.
We're doing.
Stop it right there. Rhythm missing. The Gator offense looks like Kravitz on the dance floor. That's how little rhythm they have. Okay.
It's like me 3 gin and tonics in at a wedding. Come on. What are you talking about? Rhythm. Could you imagine? Just picture this, Mike. You wake up in the morning, you swig a cup of coffee, and then you have to get in the car, crank up the ignition, and drive to the office where you're forced to sit and watch game film of the Florida Gators offense. That sounds like a miserable way to spend your day.
And then you're forced to go meet guys like Edgar Thompson and answer their questions.
Yeah. What'd you see? Well, I tell you, it's rhythm is definitely something we could use at a stage like this. I mean, come on. Unbelievable what they're going through right now.
Listen to an answer Todd Bowles gave after the game the other day.
What did Durham say to you when you wrapped his arm around you?
Me and Payne have a relationship not many people know about, and we're secret lovers.
What?
Todd Bowles trying to be funny. I love it. Huh?
That's the kind of joke that you make when you're 3-0. Can we hear that one more time? This is Todd Bowles.
When you wrapped his arm around you
Me and Payne have a relationship not many people know about, and we're secret lovers.
Okay, John.
Yeah. Could you imagine if Billy Napier had said that after he was asked the question at the press conference? Nobody would have been laughing.
Everybody would have been like,
well, firing for that.
Right. Well, I think the response would be that would explain why you won't bench DJ Lagway.
Right. All right, last one. Bruce Pearl retires yesterday. Here's him talking to the Auburn fan base.
It's time to take off that jacket, the one that Brandy and my family encouraged me to put on, and pass that jacket on to somebody else who is uniquely qualified to maintain the level of success of this basketball program. Auburn family, I truly love you. We truly love you, but I hope you understand. It's time.
War Eagle. War Eagle. Auburn family, I hope you understand that I'm turning this over to my son so he can make $5 million a year and take over the program.
War Eagle, Nepo babies.
Nepotism.
Terrific.
All right, that is mic'd up.
Coming up next, I want to get Mike's thoughts on this peculiar story out of USF. Jim Leavitt being inducted into the USF Hall of Fame, but not invited to the party. We'll talk about that next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
You know, we all love the long ball in baseball. We talk about, Cal Raleigh and what he's doing and Aaron Judge. Yeah, you know what? The best teams know that success isn't just about the big swing. It's about a sound strategy. Same goes for your financial future. I teamed up with Trajan Wealth recently to review my retirement game plan. They helped me move an old 401k over to them, and now I've got a custom-built portfolio designed to grow my assets. Founder Jeff Jr. is a Marine vet who brings battlefield focus to the financial world. Simplify, always faithful. It isn't just a Marine mantra, all right? It's a mindset they live by. Whether you're facing market curveballs from international unrest or tariffs, Trajan Wealth stays on top of it. They offer tactical investments tailored to you. No off-the-shelf solutions. So what's your next move? Don't let your financial game go into extra innings without a game plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 407-213-0000, or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
When it's blazing outside and your AC is acting up, folks, that's not just a minor inconvenience. That is a full-blown crisis. That's why I trust Mills Air. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. Think of them as the MVP of keeping your home nice and cool. Whether it's routine maintenance, fast repairs, or downright emergency, Mills Air is going to keep your home comfortable and energy efficient all season long. They've been doing that for Orlando homeowners and business owners since 1992. They've been my trusted resource for years and years now. Mills Air is also a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. What does that mean for you? It means they offer rebates up to $1,275 for a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always rely on the family-owned and operated Mills Air. Don't wait till the fourth quarter. Call Leon and the crew today. Schedule your appointment and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159, and online at millsair.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text EDGE to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text EDGE to 321-321. That's EDGE to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Football season is in full swing, and there's no better place to get in on the action than BetOnline, your number one source for all things football. BetOnline has all the latest odds, breaking news, live scores, and even in-game betting, so you'll never miss a moment. From every pro to college football matchup to baseball, cage fighting, and hockey futures, BetOnline keeps you locked into the action all year long. Head to BetOnline today, because at BetOnline, the game starts here.
QVC, shopping that surprises and delights. And QVC has partnered with iHeartRadio for this exclusive offer. It's today's special value. Simple, versatile style. The Vince Camuto water repellent leather or suede tall shaft boot with extended calf sizing will be your fall go-to. Today's special value, just $39.98 with free shipping. A QVC iHeartRadio exclusive offer. Today's special value. Shop now at QVC.com/TSV.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Beth, you're in charge of ordering the tacos for the meeting today, yeah?
I'm not going to order the tacos.
What?
I'm going to Easy Cater the tacos. With Easy Cater, you can order from a huge variety of restaurants, track expenses, and save time.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, you're emailing the meeting notes, right?
No, I'm going to easy mail them. Where's my music?
Sorry, Ben. There's no Easy Cater for that.
Easy Cater, the easy way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I still can't wrap my head around the ranking, going from unranked and really thought of as a non-factor this year in college football, beating an 8th-ranked Alabama team. That's preseason ranked, so that's not even a fully legitimized ranking of they have this impressive resume, and that's what got them to this point. Ranked 8th, they win that game, and they have zoomed all the way up to number 10. The overall ranking of where Florida State is, based on the limited knowledge we have of what this team can actually be this year, doesn't completely line up. And it has people like Paul Feinbaum and yourself buying all the way back in, and Florida State fans out there. And I just fear that people are getting their hopes up for something that isn't actually there.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless.
Hey there, Central Florida, Fox 35, Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. We are tracking some showers and storms out there for today. And again, for tomorrow, temperatures above average into the mid-90s. As we go into the weekend, we're going to track a little bit lower rain chances. Still, though, some showers and storms. In the tropics, we're keeping an eye on Gabrielle. And then, again, 2 other systems that may form. But for right now, neither of those 2 systems, Umberto or Imelda, looks like it would be any threat to us in Florida, at least how it looks right now.
Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
The UCF Knights play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We have a Yuengling watch party coming up on Saturday. The UCF Knights hit the road to battle Kansas State on Saturday. Yeah. You can join me at the Gators Dockside in Lake Nona for the Yuengling watch party starting at noon. Right then at kickoff, enjoy $3 pints and $10 pitchers of Yuengling lager on draft. Yuengling is the official beer of the UCF Knights.
So you get to go out and have fun and go to, watch parties and draft parties. While you're doing that, you know what I'm doing? I'm toiling. I'm working, crafting award-winning columns for the Orlando Sun.
And great columns they are, Mike. All you have to do is quit that job, and then you can come and hang out with me on Saturday. You've already put your kids through school. What are you worried about?
You're right. You're right. You're right. Hey, I may not have to quit the way the media business is going. Okay.
You're right. Yeah, forced retirement. We talked about this earlier in the show, but I definitely want your thoughts on it. This story coming out of Tampa is bizarre. This is very much a make it make sense situation. USF announced in June that Jim Leavitt, their former head coach of the football team, would be inducted into its Hall of Fame despite his tumultuous exit from the program. In August, this was right when we started this show a month ago. Jim Leavitt was arrested on domestic violence and theft charges after an alleged argument with his ex-girlfriend. Well, those charges were dropped after prosecutors found that there wasn't enough evidence to go forward with prosecution. You would think that that alone would give USF pause on the whole induction, but no, they still plan to induct Jim Leavitt into their Hall of Fame. This is the statement released by Rob Higgins, the CEO of athletics for USF. Jim Leavitt and I had candid and productive conversations over the last 2 days. We have mutually agreed that he will not attend and or be recognized at October's USF Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony. USF acknowledges and appreciates the impact that Coach Leavitt had on building the USF football program, yada, yada. They don't want to be a distraction. Thank you. Go Bulls. So if you're ashamed of having him in the building and you think it would be a distraction and that it's not a good idea to have him around, why are you so desperate to put him in your Hall of Fame? I don't get this, Mike. Make it make sense.
The only thing I can think of, and I don't know this for a fact, all right, we all, I covered Jim Leavitt on a marginal basis when he was the USF coach, because of the UCF angle. Everybody knows why Jim Leavitt was fired. He hit a player in the locker room, grabbed the player by the throat. The player was Joel Miller, hit him a couple times. It was found out, and there was an investigation, and he got fired. Joel Miller, as we've talked about, and I wrote a column about this. I talked to his mother and his sister a couple of weeks ago. You can probably go find that column at orlandosentinel.com. Joel Miller lived in shame after that. He was ridiculed by USF fans who didn't want Jim Leavitt to be fired because Jim Leavitt was such a successful coach. He started blaming himself. He had depression throughout his young life, ended up dying at the age of 29 years old. All right. And his mom said it was not suicide, although he was depressed. All right. So that's why Jim Leavitt got fired. And Joel Miller never really recovered from that incident. Let me just read you something his mom sent me 2 days ago when this news broke about Jim Leavitt being let in the back door of the Hall of Fame, if you will. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, I feel it's completely contradictory for USF to induct Jim Leavitt into the Hall of Fame, but then not recognize him at the dinner or the football game. If the university believes he is too controversial or too much of a distraction to be honored publicly, then he shouldn't be inducted at all. You can't have it both ways. Either he's worthy of full recognition or he isn't worthy of the Hall of Fame. I find it outrageous and disgusting, and I think it reflects poorly on USF standards and values. And this is a woman who has a USF degree. The sister has a USF degree as well. So, yeah, it's gutless. It's gutless, Kravitz. It's gutless. That's the only thing I can think of. And what I was going to say is the only reason I can think of why they're letting him in the Hall of Fame, there must be some big booster over there who's a Jim Leavitt guy who gives a bunch of money to the program who says you're going to put him in the Hall of Fame. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that makes sense. There's no reason why you don't have to induct a certain number of people into your Hall of Fame every year. And if you're Jim Leavitt also, I mean, isn't that sort of the whole point? Would you really want to be inducted into a Hall of Fame where there's no induction ceremony? Isn't that 90% of the fun and joy and honor of being inducted into a Hall of Fame is actually being inducted?
Yeah.
Not
You
just
know what?
being in it.
There, you know what? And I'm gonna steal this line from somebody from the great who was the FSU coach a long time ago. I can't remember his name.
His name was Bobby Bowden.
No, it was actually before, but he was Bobby Bowden was actually on this guy's staff. He was a funny guy. He had all sorts of famous quips and quotes, and and I can't believe I can't.
No, you say the quote. I'll look up who the coach was.
The quote, he was getting ready to go into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. All right, this coach. I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Was
Bill Peterson?
Bill
Peterson was Bill Peterson was his name. And he was always a guy who had he mangled quotes, and he was funny about it though. He goes, "Yeah, I'm getting indicted into the Hall of Fame instead of inducted." That's what that's what Jim Leavitt. He's getting indicted into the USF Hall of Fame, is he not?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an indictment of USF that he's going in. It's an indictment the way USF is allowing him to go in, and it's an indictment that he's even in there in the first place.
I mean, it would be like showing up to your favorite football stadium, looking up at the Ring of Honor, and go, "When did we add Bill's name up there? What? Why didn't anyone tell us about this?"
If I were Jim Leavitt, I would come out. I would get in touch with one of the reporters over the Tampa Bay Times and say, "Listen, if I can't be honored, I don't want to go in. So take my name off the list." That's what I would say.
Unfortunately, Jim Leavitt doesn't exactly the stories that I'm hearing. He doesn't exude honor with the things that I've heard about Jim Leavitt. Our 2-minute drill, final takes of the show coming up next here on Game On. Don't go anywhere.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be back right after this.
Have you seen what interest rates are doing lately, all you potential home buyers? They're going down. They're down in the 6s for the first time in more than a year. If you're ready to buy, now is the time to do it. And if you're going to buy, you need to go through the Nickley Group because, again, mortgage rates